Hey, and we're back. And we're back, as we always are. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this. People are telling me to do this. If you like the channel, hit like and subscribe. That helps. Apparently, that helps in the land of YouTube. So do that for us. That would be great. That would be phenomenal. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm Steve from the Lapsed Comic Fan Show. We're here today for the last panel. We have a very special panel, one that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. We're going to do the MCU tier list of just the movies, because I've only seen a couple of the shows. And there's only one movie I believe that I have not watched after looking at all these, and I've seen half of it. It's just it wasn't for me. I didn't care for it. But before we get into the tier list, let's go around the horn. Bob, how you doing, man? We missed you last week.
Yeah, pretty good, man. Took some time off for Halloween just to hang out with the kids and stuff. And so it was nice spending time with them. We actually had a fun Halloween show over on Dad's Turn to Talk. And awesome. We had Lily at 300 Mirrors. She was on with us, and we reviewed the original Halloween. So that was a lot of fun. And I also got the opportunity to see Frankenstein the day before Halloween, so I put a review of that out. That was pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to watching it again as it releases on Netflix tomorrow.
Oh, it's on Netflix tomorrow?
Yeah, it's actually a Netflix film, but they gave it a short theatrical run.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch it. How'd you like it without giving
I really liked it. I thought to me, it felt like a love letter to the novel, and that's what I liked about it.
Okay, so it's like more like I don't know much. That Mary Shelley one.
Yes.
Is that what you? Okay. So that's cool. Because I'm more like into the. I haven't watched many Frankenstein adaptations besides the Hammer and the Universal. Monster.
Yeah, it's a like. As I was going through it, or as I was watching, I kept thinking to myself, "Yeah, I remember that from the book. Oh yeah, I remember that." I mean, there are a few changes here and there, but I really appreciated that about the film because it didn't feel like a cheap Frankenstein adaptation or anything like that. It actually felt like a love letter to that novel. And since I read that one, it's actually one of the few novels that I've read when I watch a movie.
Yes,
I appreciated that.
I had the same thing with Hunt for Red October when I saw the movie, and it was in my like young teen years, and I was like, man, that was good. And my dad's like, it's a really good movie, but the book's a little bit better. I went, there's a book? It blew my mind. But Warren, how are you doing, brother? Besides,
I am doing good.
Streaming some Batman, which was dude, your draw streams are awesome, man. Thank
you.
I watched I don't think it was the last one, but it was the one before that. And that was fantastic, man. I didn't know you added all that stuff in the beginning. Like that was great. That was phenomenal. You guys
I did. I made some AI songs and threw it up and made an intro. And
the Sick and Joe song was amazing. It was so good. I was like, what? At first, I was like, what band did he hire? It was great, though, man. It was fantastic.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, I'm gonna keep adding to the intro, maybe shorten it a bit, and maybe put some new songs on it. But I've been having fun streaming. Tonight after this show, around probably between 8 and 9 o'clock, I'll be streaming again some more Batman Origins. So
nice. I'll definitely be in there for that. That's fun. I forget how much I love that game because I have
so did I.
I have the trilogy, but I have Origins on I think one of my old systems, but I'd have to dig it out, man. So
it's only available through Steam or on the original system it came out on. They never did like a reboot or a whatever they call those.
Yeah, you could stream it on PS5, but streaming games like that take timing and stuff like that it doesn't feel right. Like if it was just like an RPG that you just pick and choose what you gotta do, it'd be fine. But any live action game, it's hard to stream. It just is. Yeah. It's just, even if your internet's fantastic.
It's been fun playing it though. I forgot how much fun that game was.
Yes. And we got some guys in the chat. We got WZ as always. What's up, Z?
What's up, WZ? How you doing, brother?
What up, Z?
We got we have the Nerthal King. What's up, man? How you doing?
King, man.
Nethril.
Well, what up, man?
Here, you know what? I'm gonna do something here that I usually don't do, and here you go. Since I can't read, there you go. You're getting it full. I don't care if it glares.
We got the Natural King. We got Jeremy Hughes reviews. Hell yeah! And then we got Vincent Martin up there.
Oh, awesome.
That's correct. There's a stream on my channel. It happens every year or so. Good times.
You said you were going to put it on there, so at least it worked this time. At least it worked.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. So, Gray, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing amazing, man. These last few weeks have just been, I don't know. It's been a real change for me. It's been pleasant. I don't know. I'm not used to this. Good times, man.
Yeah, I mean, me and you wanted to start this thing together, and I think it's done. I think we're doing pretty well. I mean, we'll get there with the subs. We have to just put out more stuff, but it started from a very small idea, and it's growing larger by the second, and that's how it should work. That's how it should work. I notice you're not nearly as tense as you are on other streams.
Oh no, I can relax here, man. It's good
Bob,
times.
Bob looks happy. Look at him. I don't see just the top of Bob's hat. You should just draw a face on that for the next. Every time I watch Bob on Mondays, it's this. That's all I see. Is this?
It's either that or my eyes are like, oh, God. What's funny is I'll look at the chat and so who was it? They'll say stuff like, "Oh God, look, he's checked out," or somebody once said, "Hey Bob, if you want out, just blink real fast," and I'm like, oh.
So, WZ will ask me that on MSK's show. He's got like, blink if you want to escape or if you're being held captured.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you fit in the window. If you're like here and then MSK's here and then King Style's here, I mean, you're just fucked. You are fucked beyond belief. So, I mean, I give him much shit, but hey, I like the dude. He's a good dude. So we're just going to get right into this. We're just going to do this anyway, just because this might take, I don't want to say take forever, but I'm sure we have opinions about this, especially after the Endgame movies, because I'm sure let's just say there's opinions. Let's just say that.
Oh God.
So we'll just get to this. And these are all in order, by the way. I made sure to put the things in order. So we'll start with Iron Man 1. I mean, this was huge for me, like, just because I'm sure with other people as well, not knowing what this was going to be as opposed to the superhero movies that we got before. We've had Batman movies that were good, but none from anywhere else that was taken seriously. So, and casting Robert Downey Jr., you look back on it, yeah, it was a awesome, great decision. But at the time, it was very risky because he had just gotten, done through with his issues, let's just say that, and he was kind of like an outcast, like a pariah almost in the world of Hollywood. So
right.
But for me, I would say this is an A-tier movie. I don't know how you guys feel. What do you guys feel? Bob, how do you feel about this?
For me, this is an S.
Okay.
I really love the first Iron Man. I think that it really got the MCU going in the right direction right off the bat. Having that Nick Fury cameo at the end of the film again lets you know where this was going. Like you said, having Robert Downey Jr. Cast, I thought he was perfectly cast. So for me, this is an S tier. I really like this film. Maybe kind of the lower S tier, but it's still an S tier for me.
Warren,
I have to agree with Bob. Probably by itself, it's an A movie because it's a really well done movie, well casted. The storyline's good, but for what it did for the MCU and being how good of it was for a launch pad for the whole MCU, I think you have to put it in S tier. Really,
okay.
It's just so. It was perfect. If that one screwed up, it could have derailed the whole thing. And that one just really hit the numbers.
And like, in all honesty, at the time, as my background is comics, he was a C-list character. If C-list at the time.
Yeah.
They were not using him for anything. Like, he was not doing shit all for anything in comic books. And afterwards, we've seen how many he's been used in the Avengers. How much he's been used in single comics. You know, he got a lot of good runs after this. Gray, what do you feel, my man?
Yeah, I got to agree with Bob on this. It is S tier. You're right. He was kind of a B character. The only Iron Man that I knew, the only Tony Stark, was essentially Wu-Tang. Man, like they were the only ones really like championing that mantle. I got to say the RZA really kind of brought it with that. But yeah, man. To me, this is what kind of put. It brought Downey Jr. back. I mean, there was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang before that, but man, this really like put him on the map as he is a full-fledged star again. And then this really brought the MCU into people essentially non-nerd categories, brought it completely mainstream.
Okay, that's true.
For me, it's just S tier.
That's true. You know, that is 100% true. Because even if the movie was great and it launched what they were trying to do with the rest of the franchise, if it was still encased in nerddom, you know, like then it wouldn't have crossed over as big as it would have. So you guys are 100% right on that. Oh my God, I got something in my eye. Anyway, let's go to the Hulk, man. This is a divisive one. I mean, no, hold on. We got a couple comments here. From he said, haters, I guess I'm the only one who remembers the Iron Man cartoon. No, I actually remember the Iron Man cartoon, but the point of the matter was, it's like, it was the same thing, just like the Fantastic Four cartoon, the Silver Surfer cartoon. The only reason why those characters were getting cartoons, it wasn't because they were popular, it's because Marvel had sold so many of their IPs to stay afloat in the 90s. So it's like they would have made other cartoons, like we got the Spider-Man one, but they would have made other stuff even later with more popular characters. It was just that they had to sell everything. But I do agree. Yes, they did get a cartoon, and I think it was pretty fun. But my favorite besides the X-Men was the Silver Surfer cartoon. I thought that was very underrated and told Silver Surfer's story pretty good. But we'll go to the Hulk. So where do you guys feel on the Hulk? I'll give my opinion last, Bob.
Okay, so I probably, if you had asked me several years ago, I probably would have put the Hulk at a C. Mm-hmm. But after seeing Smart Hulk and She-Hulk and some of this other stuff, I got to bump it up to a B, because I do think that Edward Norton's Hulk is much better. And so, I mean, it's like a low B, like a B minus for me.
Okay.
But I just missed that version of the Hulk. And so that just bumped it up. Just seeing everything since then kind of bumped it up for me. But originally I would have said a C, but I'm going to say a B now, because I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Warren?
Yeah, I would give it like a C plus. Mm-hmm. I like the movie. I agree too. I like Norton's Banner. I wish he could have kind of stuck around, but I guess he was very much wanting to control like how the script of the character went. So
yeah, he also wanted top billing.
Yeah,
he wanted top billing too.
So yeah, I'll put like a C plus with it. I enjoyed the fight scene. I enjoyed the interpretation of the Hulk. It was at the time period too. It was a lot of fun.
Gray, how do you feel about this, my man?
Yeah, I think I guess I'm the negative Nancy here. To me, it's not even a C plus. I'd go solid C on this. Just what Norton brings to it is weird times. There's some good there, but man, I guess Norton was a real pain to work with, and I guess he was basically making them like rewrite scenes on the spot to kind of more meet what he was looking for, and then he decided that he was the one who needed to kind of rewrite the scenes. On top of needing like more money, kind of the Terrence Howard thing that came about after Iron Man 1. So yeah, to me, it's not one that I go back to and watch a lot. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of rewatch value for me, but it's not the worst MCU one out there. For me, I'd go C. What about you, Labs? Where you put it?
So for me, I put it in C also. And the main reason is this. It wasn't compelling enough to me that Bruce Banner was someone that I had any type of sympathy for, because he came across as a dick Like he did. He came across as a dick in the movie to me. To me, he did. And that's not just Edward Norton, the person. It was more the character itself. And it was like he was already running away from what he already knew was happening. And we didn't get any of that. We didn't get like the, why is this guy sympathetic? Why is this, happening? And then just some of the scenes were just a little bit off. Like they were. And I actually watched this not that long ago. And I was just like, man, I really think the Eric Bana Hulk gets too much shit because of how over the top it was. But man, that was the most comic book like movie that I've ever seen. And this Hulk was just as cool as I wanted it to be and as awesome. Like they didn't show him doing like as many hulky things as I wanted to see. Like, running and jumping miles at a time and like just crazy shit, So I agree with you guys. We'll average it out and we'll put this in the C category.
Yep.
So the next movie is Iron Man 2. And I thought this was kind of, when you go back and you look at like how they all came out and you see, I thought Iron Man 2 for some reason came out after Thor, but like, it's wild like that they did that. They went from, one character to the next to Iron Man again. And it was like, how do you feel about that, one, in the history of how that got released? But two, I thought it was a little bit less than what it was. I thought the special effects were fantastic. And I don't know. I don't know how I felt about Mickey Rourke.
Like, he was coming off the wrestler too. He was on that strong swing, but
But like you look at Mickey Rourke, dude, and his face, man, him in that picture of him and Axl Rose where the caption was like, "Your two lesbian aunts antiquing." Like, what happened to his face? Like, I don't know. But
what's interesting though is that Gunn's universe is following the same pattern: Superman, Supergirl, Superman 2. I mean, you're getting almost the same theatrical release pattern as the MCU's original did.
For this, I give this a C. I give this a C. I didn't think it was as good as the first movie, but I also liked the evolution of the Iron Man suits. Every one that we got more suits, different ways to get in them. I just didn't think that the villain was that strong, and it was like, okay, what are you gonna pick in the Iron Man pantheos of villainry that you could really pick from, So what'd you think, Bob?
I want so much to make this a B because of Sam Rockwell. I loved him as Justin.
Oh, he's so good.
I mean, yeah, I got you the bird, man.
The little dances.
Ice cream here. Yeah, so I want to bump it up because of that, but no, this is a C.
Okay. Warren?
I give it a D. I didn't like it. I didn't like it how the film went storyline wise. I don't like who they picked as the villains. I do like Sam Rockwell, but I really did not like Mickey Rourke, and I don't know why they picked Whiplash.
I don't either.
We did get the suitcase suit though, so that was.
And we got Sam Rockwell dancing. The dancing
Yes.
I'll never forget, dude. When he was just like. Like, that's fantastic shit.
He's one of the few actors that could show up Robert Downey Jr. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man will take the focus, but with Sam Rockwell's on there, like the courtrum scene where it shows the video and the guy gets like spotted, it's just great.
That is fantastic, and isn't that the one with Gary Shandling?
Yes.
He plays the senator.
You get Gary Shandling and Sam Rockwell. They should have just made it like Iron Man wakes up and he was on the Larry Sanders Show, and then it would have just come full circle. So, Gray, what did you think about this one?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of splitting the difference. I guess I'd go like maybe D+ on this.
Okay.
It sucks because there are some highlights in here, but it's the classic MCU problem. So this is the one that started it all. It's okay. We had this huge success with Iron Man. So what do? We immediately announce a release date, even though we don't have a script, even though we don't have anybody else signed on for this. And it's just the pattern that they went with. It kind of worked for them on that first one. I guess they were still writing some of it, but man, this just it did not work for me. Just like you guys were saying, the Sam Rockwell, Justin Hammer parts, I really dig that. There's some Nick Fury moments that kind of work, and even John Slattery as Howard Stark, that part kind of works for me. But man, there's so much of this that just does not land. I did not dig the Mickey Rourke part. It's so much of a waste of Mickey Rourke, and yeah, it's not one that I kind of go back and rewatch. To me, it seems like it's a little lower than Hulk for me.
Yeah, so we'll put this in the D category. We'll put that in there in D. We'll do that. So we had 2 C's and a D, so we'll just put it at D. I think everybody, Bob, would you know? I could see it being a D. I could see it being a D.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like I said, I wanted it for me. It's a C, and I wanted to bump it up to a B just because of Sam Rockwell. But it does. But as far as the story, the villain, and all that, it doesn't go any higher than a C.
And it's a long ass movie too.
That's the one drags. Where he originally Favreau wanted to start the Demon in the Bottle, but I think he got overruled on that because it might have been too heavy of a subject matter. Because this is kind of more of a kids kind of movies,
right?
But and then we got the whole poisoning thing where then he had to go find out and build the new chip and all that stuff. So
right. All right. So the next one we'll talk Thor. Thor, the first movie. I thought so. Okay. So the movie itself is okay, but I think they captured Asgard as well as you could possibly do it without it becoming the Sith and every ETH at the end of everything. And as much as you can, I don't know, as much as you can Arthurian a movie and still have it be planted in our reality, I'd give this movie a C. I thought Hemsworth was good, and I thought they had set it up pretty well, but it's still, there was some, without the big villain, I would say that it kind of falls a little bit short, but I liked it overall. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. Bob, what'd you think?
Yeah, for me, this is probably like a C plus. And I will say this, I liked it a lot less the first time I saw it, and over the years I've liked it a lot more. So I get Anthony Hopkins. I think he's great as Odin, and yeah, Chris Hemsworth is great. And like you said, the look of Asgard, I mean, I think it works. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like a C plus.
Warren?
I want to give it a B. I do, but I think C is more appropriate. This was before, like, this is like the most Thor movie out of probably all the Thor movies. And this was before.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is before he became more comedic with his performance of Thor. And it was a solid movie, storyline wise, character arc wise, action wise, everything on it was really solid. But at the same time, though, it was also nothing doesn't stand out huge with that film either. Like there wasn't any points on it where it's just like, oh, that was an awesome part, that kind of deal. So yeah, I think C is pretty appropriate for it.
Greg?
I disagree. I got to say this is a solid B for me. And that B totally goes for Kenneth Branagh. Man, he brought a vision and a different way of doing this. So it turned off a lot of people, but kind of to button each scene, he kept doing, like a slight Dutch angle and then like kind of a pan. And it's interesting. He wanted to use that as kind of like a turning the page of the comic book. And man, there's some amazing performances in here. Like this is where you do get that whole, the intro of Loki. You do get the Tom Hiddleston thing. You do get Anthony Hopkins as Odin. This is one of the times that I'm not that annoyed by Kat Dennings. Usually she kind of annoys me, but then you've got Stellan Skarsgård. You got Ray Stevenson in there, Idris Elba. Man, there's some really good stuff that's going on here. I wish we could have seen what his progression of Thor would have been and what Thor 2 from Kenneth Branagh would have been.
Yeah.
But again, the legacy of this is kind of ruined by the second Thor movie for me. And it's again that stupid MCU thing of, okay, well, this was a success, so we're going to immediately put a release date on product, even though we don't have script or anybody else signed on. So Kenneth Branagh was like, fuck that, I'm not doing this again. And he's checked out of the MCU. I really would have wanted to see what they were going to do, because what he was able to bring out and what Asgard looks like in this movie,
it was beautiful.
It's
beautiful
unlike
movie.
any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one is kind of what I think of when I'm thinking of Thor. And again, he did what Favreau was able to do with Iron Man. You know, previous to this, when was Thor in pop culture? Like Adventures in Babysitting or something like that? Like, he was a joke. He's not a joke after this, especially his whole interaction with Loki.
That's true. So we have 2 C's and a B. We're gonna have to put it in the C tier, but you know, I mean, I can see all those points. I could see all of those points. It just, for me, I just thought that the movie as a whole, the Shield involvement, and I understood why. I get it. But I wanted to see more. For me personally, if I understand it had to take place on Earth, but it would have been, to me, I wanted to spend more time in Asgard and see more stuff happen there. As like, I wanted to see the Valkyries. I wanted to see other things there, but I understand it. I get, you know, I do think you're right though. You are 100% right. It would have been cool to see where this would have went, because it is a solid first move. It is a 100% solid first move.
It would have been a much different Thor, and I think it would have been better if we would have got him all the way through the whole trilogy.
Yes. 100%. So the next one we have is Captain America: The First Avenger. I'll go last on this one. Bob, what did you feel on this movie?
All right, I'm gonna put this as a B. I could understand if nobody else puts it that high. I'm a sucker for period pieces, so I like the fact that you see that 1940s look. Captain America, I liked the origin story that they gave for him.
Yep.
Hugo Weaving, I liked as the Red Skull. I would have liked to have seen more of him. About the biggest problem I had with the film was I don't think that they showcased his powers the way that they really should have, and that comes much later in the MCU. But because it's a period piece and I did like the casting, I'm going to put this as a B.
Warren?
Yeah, a solid B. I almost want to say A, but I don't think, like, I'm gonna take my personal feelings out of it. I think a B is a good one. I know B when I first watched it. Now I would say A, because I rewatched it recently and I forgot. I love the feel of it. It reminds me of The Rocketeer, which I believe it was the same director. But he does these awesome, fun period pieces where it has like this kind of energy to it, like you get with the old Indiana Jones, with The Rocketeer, and even the first Wonder Woman felt like this up until the ending. This one had a much better ending. It just great casting. I'll give it a strong B. No, fuck it, A. I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go with my heart. A. I'm gonna give it an A.
All right, Gray.
Well, I'm also going to say, fuck it. Let's go A with this one. It's Joe Johnston, like Warren was saying. What he was able to do here was what a lot of other movies weren't able to do, and that was to make me not hate Chris Evans. In this one, I actually dig Chris Evans. And, man, I wish we got a little bit more of kind of the flashback. I want to see his squad. I want to see more of that. And there was kind of talks at one point of doing kind of a flashback movie, but that's never going to happen now. But there's some really interesting things. I like Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter in this. You get to see Bucky in there, a different version of Bucky than we get to see. As you mentioned, Hugo Weaving. That was awesome. Even Dominic Cooper as Howard Stark is a little bit different in this one, but kind of a decent Tucci. And then the one that always kind of gets overlooked is Toby Jones as Dr. Zola. Just, man, there's some really good performances in this one. For me, it's solid, and they made me like a Boy Scout character that I usually don't like, and an actor that I almost never like. And somehow Joe Johnston just really hit it out of the park for me. So not quite S tier, not quite Iron Man, but solid A for me.
Yeah, this is 100% an A for me. 100%. I love
I'm
everything.
glad you
about
guys put it up there. I mean, yeah, I put it lower, but I'm glad you guys thought so highly of that movie because uh, almost everybody I've talked to just never rated it as high as I did. So I'm glad to see that you guys rated it highly. So I do really like the film. I wanted to like it a little bit more than I did, but I really like it. So
yeah, for me, it was the first that when I saw this movie, I said to myself, okay, I could see the Avengers starting to form from this because that is a true leader. They made him so selfless, and I liked everything about this movie. I just did. I'm a sucker for period pieces as well, and it was done so well, and it was fun. It was a fun movie.
It was really surprising. When I first heard he was getting casted, I was kind of rolled my eyes. It's like, I don't think this is going to work. And then now I can't think of anyone else doing it. Like he really Robert Downey Jr. with an Iron Man. Chris Evans, Captain America is just, I don't see anyone else pulling it off.
Right. Yep. So the next movie we have is the first Avengers movie. So I give this movie an S because I don't care. It was everything that I wanted to see from a child, except if it was the Justice League, because I'm a DC person. But just seeing this to me and seeing, Scarlett Johansson in Iron Man 2 and having all of this culminate with all like the little scenes at the end of each movie, the extra credit scenes, I don't know. It was awesome to me. And having Hulk be Hulk, it's just, yeah. Well, there you go. Orange Avenger says it, as Hulk ragdolls Loki. It just is like I had waited for something like this, and it was taken seriously. That's one of the big points is that at first they were taking these movies seriously, and they were competently written, and it wasn't like that. I'm going, okay, I know I'm seeing a superhero movie, but I'm also seeing a well-written movie, competently acted. The actors looked like, and it was at the dawn of everything. Like they were still hot during this period of time and just getting hotter. So I give that an S. Bob?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this as an S as well. I will say this though, over the years, it's kind of dropped a little bit for me. Like it would have been one of the top, and now it's just barely an S for me. But it's still in that tier. The fact that it still works. Mm-hmm. It's got to still maintain that S tier for me. It really made you believe that team up movie could work because you saw it work. And so when you knew where they were going with this and that they were going towards that Infinity Saga and everything, you're like, okay, now I know that this could work because they made this work. Mm-hmm. So yeah, S tier for me.
Warren?
Same S tier. I mean, I guess it was like you said, it was like watching the comics come alive. It was the culmination of all the movies before it. And it just, even though the beginning of it is kind of, in my opinion, a little janky and possibly a little bit slow, once the team gets together and they have the pan around camera movement, it's just like that alone is S tier. And I think we'll keep it there forever. You can make an argument that the film technically is possibly like an A, maybe even the B range because of some of the problems it had. But it's just, it hit everything right. And it was just, it was the culmination, seeing everyone work together. It's like, oh shit, this can work. Just like Bob said, like, it's like, okay, we can, I believe now. I know that this could go on and be better. So yeah, S tier all the way.
Okay, so I'm glad that you gave me permission because I'm gonna be the stick in the mud here. For me, it's not my favorite Avengers. I think I'd go high B on this, but man, so I'm not a huge fan of Hawkeye, and I feel like they gave him a lot of kind of screen time in this one, and just I wanted to get to the actual like superheroes, not some dude with a bow. That being said, you do get some kind of cool Bruce Banner stuff here. To me, it's not exactly what I want out of my superhero team up, and we get what I want a little bit later. A couple Avengers movies from here, but yeah, this is not necessarily my peak, but they do get there. So yeah, for me, it's a B.
All right, so the average, I mean, 3 S's and an A, that would have to be an S. So, I mean, you know, I mean, 3 S's and a B. Sorry,
Captain America's costume was horrendous in that.
Oh
movie.
gosh, yeah.
Oh, it was bad. It was definitely
really,
bad.
really bad.
That's what happens when you let Colson design it.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So the next movie is Iron Man 3.
Okay. Here comes a controversial opinion.
I don't like this movie. There are things that I do like about this movie a lot. That I do. I wish if they were gonna just do Extremis, they should have just done Extremis. That's just what they should have done. And I don't know. I do like the evolution in suits. I do like the first before we got taken for a ride, right? Before we got the first 40 minutes of this movie is amazing. It's incredible. The buildup is amazing. And then as soon as they pan away and you see the freaking camera and you're just like, oh, son of a bitch. Like this is dumb as fuck. Like that irritated me. But yeah, you guys can talk more about this than I can. I give this a D or ass personally. So go ahead, Bob.
I want so bad to put this in ass. Yeah, I'm gonna put it as a D because, like you said, I thought that first part of the film was pretty good. I was actually digging the film all the way up until Trevor Slattery comes out of the bathroom going, "What? Y'all go in there!" And after that point, I was like, "Oh my god, are you freaking serious? That you just turned the Mandarin into a joke?" And I already know that they made some changes to that, but I was kind of digging what they were doing, and then to go the direction that they went and just have a 180, I was like, oh hell no. So this is a D- for me.
Warren,
straight up the ass to the elbow. Straight up, I want the colonoscopy level ass on this. It's
are you gonna go with an MSK biopsy pick? Is this a biopsy?
It's a biopsy pick all the way. Like the bait and switch with the Mandarin, which was something Marvel did a few more times. They did a bait and switch in WandaVision. They did a bait and switch in a couple other spots, and I don't like. I mean, there was some interesting ideas like dealing with Tony's PTSD, which they should have handled in the second one with his alcoholism, and then maybe continued on more with this one. So there was some interesting stuff they were trying to do, but then with the whole Trevor Slater stuff, and then for me, it's pure ass. It was just disappointing all the way around.
Gray.
So it's not as much ass for me. So I hear what all of you are saying, and yes, but there's some shiny moments in here. So this is the Shane Black one. So he was the director and he was the writer that Favreau kind of brought on. They were literally writing the scenes as they were filming it. Sometimes they would have to postpone filming for them to like write the scenes in the trailers before. It is the classic MCU problem. They have date of product before they have anything else ready. And this one is sadly the one that I think suffers the most from it. There's so many amazing ideas in here. I like seeing the PTSD with Iron Man. I like seeing Downey's version of that. Like he can really play that. But man, what they were able to do with this was just so unsatisfactory. And then you have Guy Pearce as a very interesting character. I don't know that I liked him nearly as much as Hammer from the second one, but still there's some interesting things. And then the trailer that they kind of sold this off of, where it is Ben Kingsley, and it seems like it's kind of this horror movie aspect. It could have been so amazing, but the payoff on it just it makes it feel like a bait and switch. Sadly, it's not my least favorite Shane Black film, which sucks because he has some of my favorite films. But yeah, this is, I think, the second least favorite Shane Black film. So yeah, for me, it's very, very low D.
All right. So because we got low D's here, we're gonna put this in D. But here's the thing: this is what we're gonna have to say. Do we like this one less than Iron Man 2? Yes, no. Just yes, no. Bob?
Yeah, I like it less.
Warren?
I like it less.
Gray?
I liked it a little bit more my last watch, but I think I was kind of trying to appreciate the Shane Black things in it.
Okay. So I like this way less, personally.
Fair enough.
So Iron Man 3? Ass. Have to do it. So this is probably going to be the one where I get shit on quite a bit. So Thor: The Dark World. Bob, you can go first.
Ass.
You can go first with this. He's just done it. It's just ass.
I'm sorry. I got nothing else to say. It's
Lauren?
ass.
I'm gonna say D.
Mhm.
But I would probably say C, but Thor's there. And I think this one's not as good as the first Thor, but it's I don't think it's that as bad as like the other ones. So, but I'll go with D on this one.
Gray?
Yeah, I think I'd go D. It sucks. It's again the exact same thing. Product again before they had anything ready. Initially, it was supposed to be one director, then it was supposed to be Patty Jenkins, and it finally ended up being Alan Taylor. And just, man, it is a completely forgettable bad guy. I can't even remember his name, Malekith, and it's Christopher Eccleston, who's one of the doctors, man. Just as far as like any of these movies, he is the one that I remember kind of the least out of any of these. It's just kind of a nothing character with what they gave him in this. So it's not a pleasant movie, but I can easily forget it, where some of the mistakes in the other ones, they stand out and they stick in my craw, where this one is just, it's bad, but it's gone quick for me. So
Gotcha.
D.
So I actually don't mind this movie because Malekith is like my favorite Thor villain, and I have like 70 Malekith comics, but they did fuck him over. This wasn't good. So we'll keep this in the D category. I mean, is everybody cool with D, or are we going to go ass? We'll just do it. It'll be your first reaction. We'll go down the line. Warren or Bob, ass or D?
Well, for me, it's ass, but you got two D's and you like it more, so put it in the D. That's
but
fine.
we have to look at what we have in the D category is Iron Man 2, and like we have to kind of play it off of, is it worse than that? You know what I mean?
Oh, hell
like
yeah.
That's so. Warren,
D.
Okay, Gray,
Double D.
all right, so we'll put it in the D category.
Because I think it's better than Iron Man 2.
All right, so we'll go to Captain America: Winter Soldier. This is S tier all the way for me. I don't even have to say anything else. That's it. It's S tier. Period. Bob?
S tier. This is my favorite MCU film. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that channel where they do those honest trailers.
Yeah.
But I remember the one that they did for Captain America: Winter Soldier, and during the trailer, right at they get to the end, they pop up with the logo, and he's like, Captain America, he's cool now, So, and I was like, yeah, because this movie showcased his powers the way that I wanted to see them in the first film. And I thought it was just a well-made, well-directed film, S tier all the way. Again, it's my favorite MCU.
I mean, the staircase scene alone is like just fucking amazing. Warren, what'd you give this?
S tier. I think it's but it's my favorite MCU movie, and I would argue to say that it's technically the best MCU film that they have made yet. I think overall, technically, story, pace, actors, script, it's just S tier all the way across.
Yep. What do you think, Gray?
Yeah, I could definitely see it as a high A for me. It's the Russo brothers. I'm glad that they, really kind of came in and grabbed the reins of all these kind of interesting takes on these franchises and kind of brought them, or parts of the franchise, to kind of bring it back to where it should be. It's great form. I could see S for sure. I don't want to take that away from you. I like Civil War a little bit more, but that's just me. But yeah, for me, it's a great movie. It's one of my top ones.
Oh, come on, Ray. You know you want to bump it up to an S.
So here's the reason why I put it as S. They had the compelling story, but it was the way that the movie was done, the way that it was, everything was revealed in this movie perfectly. It was perfectly done. We knew who it was going to be. We knew everything that was going to come from this, but we didn't know the why, how they were going to do it. And whenever they did it, it was like, oh, okay, I got it. I get it. And then you have a whole character for the rest of these movies that feels like he has to pay penance, and when is he going to come back again? When are we going to see him again? And the guy becomes a congressman. He's the only person I know that has multiple felonies and becomes a congressman. How can you hate that? How can you? So,
brainwashing though, so it doesn't count.
Oh, that's right. It didn't count. My bad. We have the next movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, or as my nephew called it when we went to see it, we are seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy. So this to me is a B tier movie. I like it. I like the movie a lot. And I thought the blending of the period time with the music is great and all of those things. And it definitely is rewatchable. I don't know. And I don't know, man. There's just something about the comedy in it that which is fine, but it took too much of it for what they had at stake. This was like literally an Infinity Stone, which became something so serious. And yeah, I mean, you could say that's the contrast in the movie. And I mean, at the end of this is the first time, is this the first one with the post-credit scene where we first see Thanos? Isn't this it?
No, because you actually see him in the Avengers.
The Avengers, that's what it was. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But he's actually
we see this.
Thanos
That's right.
in the movie.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We see this is the first time we see him in the actual movie. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. So it's I give it a B. I'll just say that. Bob?
I actually think it's a B plus caliber movie, but I just had way too much fun with this. And because I had way too much fun, like I walked out of the theater smiling, having no idea about these characters or anything like that. And they made me fall in love with a talking raccoon. You know what? I got to bump it up to an A minus. So I'm going to give it an A just because I had so much fun with it. Even though I will say it's probably a B plus quality. I had way too much fun.
Warren?
I agree with Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an A too because I'm also a gun simp. So,
okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, he's white knighting. Look at it. He's already
what
turned
can
it
I
on.
say?
He's already turned it on.
Resident gun simp here. Guys, you are selling this short. Come on, this is James Gunn bringing a new voice to the MCU. What can I say? So this is, I think, my favorite theater experience with this. I did not want to go to this movie. I was like, who the fuck are Guardians of the Galaxy? No, like none of this is for me. There's a raccoon and there's like a tree or something. Like, what the fuck is that? But my wife dragged me to it. She had a feeling with it, and she really liked I think the commercial had the Redbone song in it too. So yeah, and I mean, I was always a fan of Come and Get Your Love, but man, this actual experience, I could not explain. I don't know the levels that this took me to, that from the depth of so I didn't end up seeing Winter Soldier in theater. So my last experience was like either Iron Man 3 or Thor, whatever. And man, I was on an all-time low and I thought I was done with the MCU. And then this ragtag team that I didn't even know of. And then it's also got the dude from Parks and Rec in it. Like, why would I possibly like this? It's got me, dude. It won me over hardcore. And this is one of my favorite MCU films. You're selling the soundtrack in this so short. Man, that took the nation by storm. I think it's like the number one album for, I can't remember how big, but I believe this has been the biggest soundtrack that MCU was able to do as well. They spun off a whole bunch of different mixtapes, but man, to get me to not only like Vin Diesel but actually appreciate a character that he's doing, man, they completely knocked it out of the park. I don't know how Gunn got me to not hate Vin Diesel. There's two men that I do not like, and the MCU has both of them, and somehow I don't hate them in either of these. So that's huge. But then also Bradley Cooper is Rocket, man.
But if Groot
Michael
had
Rooker.
Vin Diesel's face, would you like it?
That would have been so
don't
amazingly
know.
bad. It would have been awesome, but bad at the same time.
Did you think that the soundtrack and the lightheartedness overshadows the story in the movie?
Not at all, man.
No.
I think Lee Pace is one of the best villains in this as Ronan. Just, man, give me Lee Pace over Eccleston any day. What can I say, man? Give me Guardians over Thor Dark World.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then not to mention everybody else that kind of fills out the cast in here. You've got John C. Reilly, Benicio del Toro, Sean Gunn. Getting me to like Benicio del Toro as the Collector. Like, when I heard that, it's like, no, he's not the Collector. Like, that's not gonna. It kind of works for me. And then the other one is Drax, man. I usually do not appreciate Dave Bautista. This got me too. I remember I'd seen him in a few other things. It's like, that wrestler cannot act, but man, this just won me over.
I was disappointed in some things because I wanted to see the actual Guardians of the Galaxy. I wanted to see that team, and I understand like what they did for the movie. Like, I get it. You wanted to have certain characters that you wanted to push, and you wanted to make them, but I mean, they ended up being the Guardians in the comics afterwards. So I mean, like, I can't knock it. There's some things in. I was literally waiting for like Star-Lord to cut a chandelier down that encased Ronin, and then nunchucks from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and it was like, I don't know. It wasn't as serious to me personally, but that soundtrack.
That's kind of where I was at. You're right. It's totally not serious. I saw some of those serious ones, and I really did not like their attempt at serious. So I don't know. For me, it was a perfect tone for the time, and it got me back into the MCU. So for me, it's S, but I understand it's less for you guys. So again, I'm kind of simping for Gunn here.
We'll put this at an A. Is everybody cool with A?
Yep.
A sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So we will put this at A tier. So next we have Avengers: Age of Ultron. I probably like this a lot more than most people. I give this an A. I thought Ultron was fucking incredible. I thought the CGI for Ultron was amazing. It was like the next step in what you could do with CGI. The fact that you could see the emotion on his face, stuff like that. But I understand the shortcomings of the movie, like the big, ending of the movie. It was like, okay, whatever. We're gonna take this city and float it in the sky, and then when we drop it, it's gonna be devastating, and you're gonna fight 9 million of me. But I liked it. I give this movie an A, and I'm sure I've rated it higher than most people. Bob, what do you give this movie?
Most of the movie for me is a C.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things in it that bumped it up, and I'm going to give it a B. I love the ending to this movie. And when I say the ending, I don't mean like the climax of the big battle sequence. I like just the actual ending where you see Tony and Cap have their little goodbye there, and you see Cap go back in, and there's a whole new Avengers team. So I like the idea that you see that the Avengers is a changing roster and I really dug that about the movie. Also, they really set up Cap and Tony as kind of being the heads here of that Avengers team, and to me, this film does a lot to set up Civil War as far as the relationship with these two characters and where they're going to go and in Civil War. So that to me bumped it up. So I'm going to give it a B.
Okay, Warren.
I would going to give it a B because I don't know if it was just how good the Russo brothers are, but this film, it almost felt like the Russos were there when they made it, because there's so much the Russos took.
It's just Whedon.
It's set up, because it was Whedon that did it, but like the Captain America Thor hammer part was kind of into it because Whedon let him move the hammer just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, and there's all this stuff that the Russos kind of catapulted off of for Civil War that came for this movie. I liked how Ultron was. It's just the execution on some things was not great, and it was the ending was kind of weird. I don't know about the whole picking up a bunch of rock turkeys. Would that even work? Because it has to be one solid piece of rock. So
100%, yes,
contraption is holding that together, it's not going to work really. Because all it is just a big old pile of dirt hitting the ground. So it's not going to cause a world-ending event. It'll cause damage, but not necessarily a world-ending event.
Well, it depends on how high they get it. It depends.
Well, touche. Right. But there was a lot
of... Yes, I know what you're saying.
It was definitely a B movie, in my opinion. And there was a lot of cool stuff from it, but it was just not executed great. I did love the Vision Ultron conversation right when he kills the last robot. The one where it's were you born yesterday? Or he was you're so naive, and he's I was born yesterday. I loved that kind of the talk between those two. I wish they would have delved into that a little bit more than what we got, but yeah.
I mean, we get Bob kind of for me hit the nail on the head. You get so much that comes from this, the stuff with Claw. They introduced vibranium at a huge level. At a huge level. We already knew it from Captain America and stuff like that. But this is this basically spawns what is going to go down in Black Panther, what is going to happen in the next, Civil War and Avengers movie. And there's a lot of things I thought James Spader's Ultron was fucking amazing. Yeah. Because I've read, I read a lot of Ultron stuff in Age of Ultron and what he was doing. If you think about even in the original 1984 Secret Wars comic, the first thing Doom did was get rid of Ultron, because if you have Ultron anywhere, you're screwed. You're basically fucked. As soon as he gets into anything, you're fucked. So I thought they played that very well, because as soon as he was took over from Jarvis, it was Jarvis had to seal himself, had to protect himself, because Ultron spreads that quickly. And yeah, I that's why I said I know I liked it probably more than most people. But Gray, what did I see? No White Knight. I see straight up mustard. Here it comes.
There's no white knighting for me here. I think I liked it less than a lot of you guys. For me, this is kind of C tier. There's just so many things that don't work, and there's so much potential. And with a villain like Ultron, man, they could have done things you mentioned, how quickly it's spreading. Yes, that could have been amazing. And I think Spader does a good job with the voice, but just I think the whole storyline of Ultron just gets shortchanged a ton. And then the weird characters that they kind of have in there, this version of Quicksilver, just I don't know. I don't like a lot of what they chose to do with this particular one, and I think there is so much potential. And then to look at the kind of humor that they try and shove into this one, that Joss Whedon tries to shove into this one, compared to, James Gunn, for instance, with that last one. Just, man, Gunn's tone lands so much more for me, and this just starts coming off as real cheesy. So for me, I think I'd have to go C tier in this. But one positive for me is that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby at least get credits as writers on this. It's them and Joss Whedon. But yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I knew it would be, I would be ranking higher. So we got 1A, 2 Bs, and a C. So this will be our first B. This will be our first B movie. That's interesting. It's quite interesting. I thought there would be more, at this point in time. So after that, we get the first Ant-Man. First Ant-Man, guys. I'm gonna go last on this. So Bob, you go ahead, go.
I really like this movie. To me, it's a lot of fun. It's a movie that is ridiculous. It knows it's ridiculous. It has fun with it being ridiculous. I don't think it's necessarily I can understand if people say it's not a good movie, but I think it's a fun movie. So for me, I'm gonna give it an A, just because, again, like with Guardians, I had a lot of fun with this one. I mean, this was a movie that when the trailer came out, even my mom was like, I want to go see Ant-Man. And this is not the type of movies that she would see. And she walked out of it saying she thought it was fun. So I'm going to go with an A.
Warren?
B plus, B. It's a good movie, good all-around movie. It makes me, I realize now it's like how much I miss when Marvel was making films that were focused on the character that was in the title of the movie. Now they don't do that anymore, but because it was a solid movie by itself that was playing around in the world, but it didn't feel like it was connected necessarily or bogged down by that. So yeah, I give it a strong B.
All right. Gray?
Yeah. So it sucks because I really want to see what could have been. So Edgar Wright originally had one of the Ant-Man scripts, and they got so close into it before sadly they were forcing his hand on a few things and he walked. I want to know what that could have been. That being said, when they decided to go with, guy number 2, the dude who made Bring It On, it's interesting, but yeah, Peyton Reed was the director on this one, and it wasn't the worst. For me, it's kind of a simple one, but like you mentioned, they're kind of doing character where they don't really do that later on. So yeah, it kind of worked for me. I think it was solidly entertaining, and there's some pretty funny moments. The kind of turning tiny in the middle of fights thing. Man, there's some really memorable scenes, but there's also some kind of weird CGI. So I think for me, I'd go solid B.
Yeah, we're gonna put this in B. I feel the same way. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fun. That was the main thing. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool, and I thought it was interesting. As soon as they did this, and you could tell which level Ant-Man was gonna be. I was like, okay, so the next Avengers, or where they're moving with the Avengers, they are not going with, they're going with what they feel the Avengers is, which gave me hope. Because the comic book Avengers, regardless of what anybody wants to believe, because history is history, the Avengers were brought together because all of those books singularly were failing. And they were like, fuck it, let's make a team. And it was led by Ant-Man and Janet Van Dyne. So there you go. So, but I thought the movie was fun, and I like that they stuck to the character, and it was all about being small, being Ant-Man, and all the things he could do as Ant-Man. I thought it was fun. So we'll go to Captain America Civil War. Civil War. I think Civil War is S tier movie. You get Spider-Man, you get basically Avengers 2.5. So yeah, I like that. And I have to, I'm gonna I say some comments in here, and I'll have to address this. Now watch them simp for Quantumania. No one is going to simp for Quantumania.
That we're just
like,
wait till we get past Endgame and watch that ass tier fill up.
Yeah, like good lord. Like, really? Anyway, but I thought it was an S tier movie. I liked what they did for how Civil War is in the comic book is very different, so different because there's so many different characters that they use, and there's obviously no Goliath, no clone of Thor. They had to keep Thor out of the movie, obviously, because that would turn the tide of everything that they did and what they had there. But yeah, they kept true to the spirit of the book. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, orange. You just give a little slap. Give a little slap. But yeah, I could see people saying this is one of their favorite MCU movies. So Bob,
it's an S tier if for nothing else but for that airport sequence and the ending with Iron Man and Cap having to go hand to hand with each other. I thought that was extremely emotional, and the way that it ends left me in the theater just kind of like, oh. So for those two reasons alone, I got to put it in an S tier. I think it's very well done.
Warren?
Yeah, it has to be an S tier. I think Winter Soldier's better, but this movie they do such a good job on bouncing off of Avengers 2, off of carrying through stuff that was set up in Winter Soldier, establishing Spider-Man,
and Black Panther.
It was just so much of a good thing, and the entire time still keeping it about Captain America. Like, this was a Captain America movie, but yet they did all of this other stuff around it too, and it was just so well done. And yeah, the scenes we got to see just in the fight scenes with Iron Man alone, we get to see the famous helicopter scene, the using his power of friendship to bring the helicopter down, and just we got the famous Bucky your mom joke when he was talking about Cap's mom. Yeah, it was all around good movie. S tier.
Yep. Gray?
Sorry, I was muted and just talking to myself. Yeah, man, I completely agree. The only part that I slightly differ than what Warren said is just I prefer this one over Winter Soldier, but fair enough. This one, I think it's my top Russo brother. Well, I guess that depends. Maybe there's one other that might stack up to this one. But yeah, I would give it a solid S, man. This is my favorite of kind of. I guess I'd have to say my Captain America movie. This would be the S tier for me. But man, so everything that you were saying, everything that everybody has said, I'm basically echoing. But it's different in the comic, but it seems like it's trying to keep the same spirit, and it feels like they finally got that right in a good way. For me, every one of the weird choices kind of works, and then this is how I want to see not only that elevator scene, but the fight scene. Just there's so much going on in this particular one. The fight at the end, though, I still remember just experiencing that in the theater. Just kind of the crowd actually getting into it and cheering, and it's like, why are you doing that? It's a movie. But just for me, this was probably the second best in theater experience with the MCU. So yeah, S tier all the way for me.
Okay, so we'll address this one comment here. It says, so you will defend Ant-Man and Wasp despite ruining the solo Wasp run later or before. Well, we didn't get to Ant-Man and Wasp movie yet. We only did.
I think Ant-Man. It was because I switched to the White Knight thing. I was jokingly saying I would defend it. I will not.
Well, it wouldn't matter because I mean we're only talking about the movies that were released and how we enjoyed them and what tier they're in, regardless of what may or may not have spawned out of them. If they directly affect movies that came out, I'm only going to talk about that. I honestly could get me personally now whether the other three guys want to talk about that stuff. I could give two shits less about things that have not come out or didn't happen. Personally, that's just me.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. It's just like, we're only talking about the movies that are here, like I can't say whether I like possibly a movie that stunted a movie that never happened. Like, I don't know. I can't really give an opinion on that. That's not something that, I really have an opinion on. Because it just never came out. So, and then we're just talking about movies that have come out. So, the next one is Doctor Strange. I'll go last on this because I have some thoughts on this. But Bob, how did you feel about Doctor Strange?
It was an A for me. I had a good time with this one. I liked some of the whole, like the sequences when they were like in that, what was it, like the mirror universe or whatever that it was, that I just was really digging it. Benedict Cumberbatch as this character, I think he's great. So yeah, for me, it's a solid A.
Okay, Warren.
B. For me, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I didn't really care about it.
Okay. Gray.
Yeah, I think I'd go like high B. It's a weird one. It's a Scott Derrickson movie. There's some really interesting things that they do. I like the look of the magic that they're doing in the MCU at this point. It's kind of interesting. I kind of like the introduction of like the Wong character, but to tell you the truth, I kind of forgot a good portion of this. And then, just because I happened to rewatch it last year is the only reason why I think I remember a lot of this. Cumberbatch does good. I think he plays a good Strange. I like what they did with the cape, but to me, it's just kind of like a B movie.
Well, yeah, it's honestly like you could have not had his movie. It's like you could not have had, like, you could have just took that movie out of existence and still had him in the other movies later, and it still would have worked.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have really needed a movie to establish the Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
So I thought the movie was okay. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. So we'll put it up in the B tier. The thing with Doctor Strange is I just never liked Doctor Strange as a character in comics. They used him a lot as a Deus Ex Machina. Like whenever, like they would use him like before they nerfed him, like if anything, there's a spell for that. And the Vishanti and and it's like, okay, I get it. All right, whatever. So I didn't know how it would translate to a movie. And I was definitely surprised. I was surprised by the movie because I didn't expect him to be as, I don't want to say, like, played it as cool as he did, because Stephen Strange in the comics is definitely a lot different than he is as Benedict Cumberbatch. They look a little bit the same, they have the same look. They did good job on that. But yeah, I thought it was a fun movie. So yeah, I don't
weird.
know.
Did you guys ever watch Venture Brothers?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really.
There's this weird kind of take on like a Blade and a Doctor Strange character in there. I always hated Doctor Strange until somehow that show kind of got me into it. I just imagine that weird character as Doctor
awesome.
Strange. He is. So I don't know. That just makes me appreciate him now. But I don't know. They did some cool things, like where he gets punched and he like flies out of his body. There's some interesting scenes that stick with me. But and the way that, worlds kind of turn into themselves, Inception style, but slightly different. They had some cool visuals, but it's kind of a forgettable movie.
It was the comment was directed for the comic they tried to relaunch or canned after 2 to 3 comics. Lapsed comic. Example, the Captain Marvel movie still caused the end. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Tiamat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There might be a small language barrier. I know. I kind of know what you're saying, and I know you have very strong opinions, Tiamat. I'm not. I hope you don't take it that I'm disrespecting you or anything like that. I'm not. And I get whenever they did, like Miss Marvel and stuff, and they tried to launch comics for characters that never sold comics to begin with, it's a hard road, man. It's definitely a hard road. I mean, they probably should give it longer than 2 to 3 issues to see if they could sell an arc, but I don't know. Marvel Comics is not like the actual comics portion is not, I am not nowhere near as well versed in Marvel Comics as I am DC. I 100% admit that, that is not my wheelhouse as it is DC. I wish if Professor Savage Dad was on here, he could probably speak better towards Marvel. It's just not my, I just don't know nearly as much about it. So we'll go to was this Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't like this movie. I don't like Ego. I don't care. I just don't like Ego. I never liked Ego in the comic books. It just wasn't my movie. I'm gonna give this a C. Bob?
Yeah, for me it's a C too. I just didn't care for the story as much as the previous film, and it's not that I didn't have a good time with it. I still had a good time, and heck, it's got Stallone in it, even for a small cameo. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it was a clear step down for me from the previous Guardians film. Again, I still enjoyed it. It's not the worst MCU film out there, but I did not like this one as much as I enjoyed the first one. Like I said, the first one for me was an A, and this one I'd put as a C.
Warren?
B for me, because I really like the Guardian movies, and I like this one more than usually a lot of people do. So I'll give this one a strong B for me.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking any, movies more than the other ones. Like, I knew you guys weren't going to like Thor: The Dark World nearly as much as I do, because you probably don't have like $22,000 worth of Malekith comics sitting there. So,
I do not.
But Gray, where'd you land on this one?
Yeah, I think I'm somewhat in between all of you guys. So I guess I'm not a total James Gunn simp. This one, it's kind of lukewarm to me, which sucks, because if you told me there's a movie with Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rooker, Vin Diesel, I'm on board. Like, that's going to be an amazing movie. But
it would have sounded like a better Prison Guard movie.
Or Fast and the Furious sequel.
But yeah, it doesn't have the same luster as the first one. And man, I love me some Kurt Russell. He can almost do no wrong, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't have the same type of heart wrenching that first one has. Like, that first one was able to actually like punch me in the heart.
You guys are monsters.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to say something about that real quick. My kids for Father's Day one year got me a shirt with Yondu on it that says, "He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy." So it's got Yondu on it. So yeah, I will agree, Orange Avenger, that that scene was really cool.
I just felt like they really were like, I thought more people were talking about what the soundtrack could be than what the movie was.
That's because that first one was amazing, man. Again, that's why that one's S2.
I'm not saying that it's the first one is not a good movie. It's just not for me. It's just, maybe I wasn't as, like I said, I wanted the original Guardians team. I wanted the team that I was reading, in the Dan Abnett stuff. I wanted that, and what they did with it, though, and the fact that it spawned a change in the actual comics to where it stuck and people actually gave a shit, that's pretty awesome. That's
okay,
pretty.
Baby Groot, though.
Okay.
I'm Groot. Groot.
I'm not the guy. I am not the guy to talk to about cute things. I'm just not that guy. Warren is your guy. Warren he's got Baby Yoda. He loves the Grogu. He's the guy.
Oh yeah, I love all the cute shit. I got some Baby Groots back there too.
I'm the guy that's oh, that's nice. Okay.
I'm getting myself ready for Baby Jabba the Hutts, because they're gonna have one in the new Mandalorian movie. So
oh hell yeah.
All right, so what we'll give this? What do you want to give this? A B or a C?
I'd go low B for me, but so what's that? That's a B, low B, and then I think both of you guys were C's.
All right, so we'll
I don't
just
know.
go. We'll
2B,
just go.
2C?
We'll go with a B. We'll go with a B. Is that fair? Is that fair,
That's
Bob?
fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Because that ending scene with Yondu and Star-Lord, that is good. So
Okay.
I'll give it that.
All right. So the first Spider-Man Marvel movie, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I do think I liked Michael Keaton though. I thought that would I never thought people would get me to actually like Vulture. So there's that. And I don't know. I don't know. I give this a B. A B. Bob.
For me, it's a C. I don't think it's necessarily a bad movie, but one thing that I didn't like was, he seemed to have no problems fighting the Avengers, and in this one, he's very unsure of himself as he's fighting. So I don't know. It was just for me, but I did like how he had to go into that final fight without all of the tech and everything that he had. I kind of wish we would have seen more of that in some of the other films.
It should have been that from the beginning.
Yeah,
he shouldn't
exactly.
be Iron Man Jr. I did not like that.
That's the other issue that I have with it.
Street level character.
Yeah. So for that reason, it's a C for me.
Bob, Warren. Sorry.
I agree with Bob. It's a C level movie. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I do think it's interesting that essentially from Civil War to what was it, No Way Home, is like his entire origin story. Because then at the end of No Way Home, he's back to being ground zero, poor Peter in apartment. No one knows who he is, Spider-Man by himself. So it kind of, I like that, but at the same time, though, this film, even though Vulture was cool looking, it wasn't as the best Spider-Man movie by no means.
All right, Gray.
Yeah. So I also don't have a ton of favorable things to say about it. I was kind of against them from the beginning in a weird way. When I was told that Marissa Tomei is going to be Aunt May, it's just like, no, that is not my Aunt May. Like that, no. But it's a real mixed bag for me. So weirdly, John Francis Daley was one of the writers in it. He is that weird guy who he starred in Waiting. He was on Bones. You'd recognize him as an actor, but I didn't realize that he was one of the writers of it. But yeah, it's a weird John Watts film. It's got some interesting things that I do dig about it. So Marissa Tomei kind of won me over. She is not Aunt May, but okay, I'm willing to kind of accept that thing. I really dug the Michael Keaton part, the Bokeem Woodbine as well. Basically all the bad guys in this, everything that's going on with them. I kind of dig that. And then there's little nuggets of kind of stuff that could be amazing in there. And then there's weird choices, like for instance, bringing Zendaya into the spotlight for everybody and kind of forcing that on people. I kind of like Jacob Batalon as Ned. I didn't think I would like that character, but somehow it kind of works for me. But then they chose Tony Revolori as Flash. There's so many okay, that could be cool. Why did you make this choice? And it's this weird push-pull that I have with the movie.
It was
I wanted to really
in the
like
movie.
it. Yeah. But the Vulture stuff, you got me to like the Vulture.
That's where the street level comes in, because it makes sense off of what happened from the first Avengers movie. This construction level guy going in and getting outbid on contracts for things that he's like, fuck, man, they fucked all this up. Why, and it would have, I think it would have worked better if they cut down the stuff with Iron Man, him being Iron Man Jr. And if he would have been street level Spider-Man taking on street level thugs and street level stuff, it would have worked better for me personally.
Yeah, I wish it was something a little bit more like that. But even then, I don't know. But then there's parts of the street level that are still interesting. And why did you make that choice? But
right.
Yeah, all in all, I wanted a little bit more out of it. So I think for me, it would be a C or a low B. Since you guys are going C, I'm willing to go C.
We'll go C. We'll go C.
Now,
I will.
Good. I was going to say, here's a question. Would the film have worked if it was set before Civil War? What I mean is, like, this is how Tony Stark discovered Tom Holland's Spider-Man. You put it at a completely street level, no tech involved.
Till the end.
Till the very end, where it ties into Civil War, even though it comes out afterwards, but you could have it where it's like set pre-Civil War. I think that would have worked better.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say this. If you look at Aunt May's Marvel card, it says, instead of battles won, it says pies baked. I do not believe Marissa Tomei has ever baked a pie. So
I would eat any pie that she baked me, though. So
it would probably be warmed with her thighs.
Yeah, I get it, Gray, that she's not your Aunt May, but she could be my Aunt May.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, day long.
That's kind of gross. What are we finding out about Bob? How dare you, Bob?
I love me some Tomei, but yeah, still, she's no Aunt May.
So what is this? Okay. So this is what Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was an awesome trailer. Very awesome trailer. The movie, though, it was okay. It was okay. I give this a C. Bob?
Yeah, it's a C for me. And the only reason it's a C for me is because I laughed. If I hadn't laughed on it, I would have had it much lower. I really didn't like a lot of the stuff that they did in this film. So I'm going to go with a C, simply because it did make me laugh.
I just when they were talking about, like, you know, World War Hulk, and like, I'm like, dude, like, that's such a fucking awesome story. Like, that is so good. That is so good. And they just did this. Hulk mad. I stay here. I'm angry. Here, watch me. And he had his obligatory, and I've said this, I have done this bit on my other shows. He had his obligatory every time there's a guy who comes out of water in anything ever. They never have clothes on, and they're always this scene. Look at my dick. You know, like, I don't care about Hulk's dick. Like, anybody? No? All right. Warren? Hulk's dick. How do you feel about it? No.
When the film first came out and I first watched it, I would have given it a high B, maybe even an A, because I had a lot of fun watching it. But when you rewatch it, it goes quickly down to like a C, because you just realize that it really shows up in Love and Thunder, but it was just really Ragnarok was just a more compact. It was funnier, and it was a better, like, put together film than Love and Thunder, but it was really did absolutely nothing for the character. It ruined World War Hulk. It ruined a lot of other stuff. But there was just these cool scenes in it, you know, but yeah, I would give it a C.
God damn it.
It looks like someone's leg just sticking out the end of their.
It's like in basketball, dude. Whenever they turn, and they're like, Dre, how do you feel about this?
So I guess yeah, I'm gonna be white knighting. Let me put on my piece. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna be white knighting Taika Waititi a little bit. I think this is my second favorite Taika Waititi film. Man, I had a lovely time during this one. I fully expected to hate it. I remember seeing the trailer for it and thinking, that's gonna suck. Why the hell are they using? I believe it was just straight up Zeppelin for. That was the.
No, it was.
No, it was this
immigrant.
one.
It was immigrant song.
I remember hating it. Just like, why are you using that? Like, the MCU is not Zeppelin. Like, why are you doing this? And man, I had a really good time. I think this is probably the third best in theater experience I had with the MCU. So I don't know. It left a good taste in my mouth when I saw Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. It's like, oh, that's gonna suck. But man, just he works so well. I completely dig it. And then when I heard Kate Blanchett is gonna be Hela, it's like, I don't know how that's gonna work out. But man, I absolutely love what she was able to do. And Carl Urban as Scourge. While they did some really weird shit with it, I kind of love what he did with it in a weird way. There's some interesting stuff here. And then the fact that you're right. They do take some storylines and extremely truncate them. They're mere shadows of what the actual comics are. But I kind of dig it in a weird way. What can I say? And man, if you had a physique like the Hulk, I think you'd want to show it off too.
Well, I mean,
ripped
depends.
Dudes deserve.
Depends.
Okay,
does
fair
Hulk
enough.
dick grow as Hulk grows?
I assume yes. He's a scientist. I'm assuming he's thought of this. But yeah, I don't know, man. To me,
that would be great if it didn't.
So I only saw it twice. I saw it once in the theaters, and then I did a rewatch last year, and man, it held up for me. I was assuming it wouldn't, especially after Love and Thunder, but I don't know. I found this delightful. I wish they'd kind of stuck with this. If they would gone with this tone, I don't think I would have. I don't know. Love and Thunder, I just think they get the tone wrong so much.
So what do you give this one?
I guess I'd go low B. Or a B.
This will be in the C then. We got 3 C's and a B. So this will be in the C.
I love how they killed off Odin. They killed him off, but they did just enough time to let him have exposition to set up Kate Blanchett's character that comes out of nowhere. He's just like, oh, by the way, boys,
yeah,
your sister that you guys didn't know about is going to be able to come up here and become an immortal on the grounds of Asgard when I die, which happens to be right now.
And I'm out here in this field because what I don't want you to know is that if you throw something at that glass ceiling, you'll find out the whole history of everything. So please don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do it. So the next movie is Black Panther. Black Panther, the first one. I love this movie. I like it a lot. I do. I like this movie a lot. I give this a B. I like Michael B. Jordan. He always just cracks me up. I don't know why. Like, it's just something about the guy. Like, I just laugh. And even when I'm not supposed to, I find things like very funny whenever like they're not supposed to be funny in very serious movies. And maybe it's just, I'm a messed up human being, but there's times where I laugh in movies and people are looking at me like, why are you laughing? That's not funny at all. And I don't know. But I like this movie. I give this movie a high B. Bob?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a B on this one. I mean, when this came out, people were swearing this was like the best film that has ever come out in the history of cinema or something like that. But to me, I thought it was a solid B. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever, but I thought it was a solid Marvel movie. I had a good time with it. So yeah, it's a B for me.
The only thing that kept it from A for me was how we were introduced to Black Panther and Civil War was much more like how the comic book Black Panther is. Because like comic book Black Panther, this is the rules that you abide by with him. If you go into Wakanda and you're not supposed to be there, you're not coming out. There is no like, I'm a superhero, you're a nice guy, you're dead. That's just how it goes. And that's how I felt seeing him in Civil War. This not so much. You kind of got the human side of him more, but there was definitely stakes in the movie, and they had a beginning, middle, and end story. And they took a lot of the Hickman stuff, which I liked. The whole afterworld, the where all the Panthers meet up and they're like, yeah, what's up? And I mean, the only line that could have made any of this better is whenever he threw him off the waterfall, if Forrest Gump came in and said, sorry, I messed up your Black Panther party. And then we could have had like, 2 worlds colliding that we never knew we wanted. Gray? Or Warren, sorry. He said, "What? What's wrong with me?" Bastard.
This movie's a C for me.
Mhm.
Solid film up to the last fight. Then the CG is just it doesn't look good. But it's a solid film. I think it got hyped way too much.
It definitely did get too much hype.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say it's a C.
Okay. Gray?
I disagree with Gray a little bit. Sorry, Warren a little bit there.
How dare you disagree with yourself? You disagree with Gray.
After
Well,
this,
that guy
we're
Gray
gonna
doesn't know what
have
he's
to start,
talking about. Disagree with him there.
We're gonna have to start like the whole hate thing. Like, I'm gonna make videos about you. You got to make videos about me. It's just gonna be a whole rivalry.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. What can I say? I am a bit of a white knight for Ryan Coogler. This is, I think, my second favorite Coogler film.
You know every director. I have no idea who made these movies. How horrible!
Oh, it's the same dude who did Sinners,
so
man.
Bad. So bad.
I dig it. So I think Sinners is my favorite Coogler film. I think this one is right under it. Creed's, I think, the third one, and then yeah, he's got a couple others. Fruitvale Station isn't the worst, but yeah, I dig this film a lot. There's some really good things that they're able to pull off, and then Warren's right. There's some CG that they're not really able to pull off, and it all comes like, man, there's so much potential for this to be just something that transcends normal MCU, and then they make it just computer generated images punching each other at the end.
That does
wanted
take it back. That does take it back a little bit, because you're right. You're 100%. You both are 100% right. That end fight, you're just like, all right, it's Stretch Armstrong versus, Stretch Venom here. Like, all right, here we go. But sorry, go ahead.
There's beautiful ending with the sunset and him. Like the acting was great. It's just that, yeah.
For sure. And all the actors in this are awesome. The tone that they hit is just amazing. The fact that they're not going for that MCU joke thing, like, there's a little bit of humor. I remember there was a couple times that people chuckle, especially with the Michael B. Jordan. But man, it just, I wish that ending was just a little bit better. Then I think this one would be one of my top ones for sure. Okay. I think for me, it's high A. If you remember, this is one of the only MCU ones to actually be nominated for an Oscar. And I think deserved. I just
well, you know what,
I
dude?
wish
You can't tell that to MSK, because then he would have been like, they did this on purpose. Their whole thing was just to make a movie that got nominated for an Oscar. Can you believe that?
And then he'll say, like, I never watched it, but this is what they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched it, but when I got on Twitter, that's what I found out that I thought.
But yeah, I think I'd go high A on this. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, is it a low S for me? But definitely a solid A.
So we got an A, 2 B's, and a C. So we will put this in the B category.
I'm the racist one.
All right, so this is basically where I think after we do these next, where it's gonna fly by after that, because I know, Gray, you got to leave it by 10:30, correct? A little bit before then.
Yeah, if we stretch on a little bit longer, it'll be okay. But yeah, if I could, that would be
okay. So we'll talk about Infinity War. I think this is S tier. I think it's one of the best setup / almost Empire Strikes Back-esque movie. Leave you on a cliffhanger. It's amazing all the way through. I love it. There you go. Bob?
S tier. Yeah, I mean, it's just an extremely well-made film. The way they brought everything together, incorporated the Guardians and everything that they've done up to this point. And that scene where Thor arrives in Wakanda is badass. So I'm giving this an S tier.
Yes. Yep. Warren?
S tier all the way. It really is like Thanos' movie in a lot of ways, and the way they brought him in, and he just integrated with the story so well. And then that ending, I remember seeing it in the theater, and when everyone turned to dust, you could hear a pin drop in that movie theater. Like, we were all just kind of shocked and just could not wait for the next one. So yeah, S tier all the way.
Gray?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ass on. No, I'm just kidding. This one for me, it is S tier as well. It's Russo brothers. They're at their prime. I think I might put Civil War a little bit ahead, but I understand that's my weird subjective thing.
No, that's
this
fine.
is the culmination of everything, and they do actually bring in this villain that has stakes. The one thing that I would change is I wish they had death in this, but I guess they thought that they'd need to explain so much more, which is so weird that they then in Agatha all along bring in Aubrey Plaza to play Death. I don't understand the choices, but this is an interesting take on it. I don't hate it. I do wish that we had a little bit more comic accurate there, but man, to bring everything up to this and then to bring an actual bad guy into this and to be able to pull those heartstrings, just man, the whole I'm not the biggest simp for Spider-Man or whatever, but man, he made me feel in this one.
You're right, and I can hear you on the comic accurate thing. The only thing that I would leave out there, right, is if you're gonna do that, then do it, right? You're gonna do it, then do it, because at the end of the comic, they get the thing back and they snap people back. Perfectly fine. Okay. The other thing would be, if you do that, you're gonna you would have to lay in Mistress Death, because that's the whole thing that it propagates on, where I don't know if that would have made Thanos as believable as a villain, because then you would introduce something that he thought was greater than him.
Dude, he's doing it for a lady. Come on.
And I understand that, but she's a skeleton. she's but hey, I it's one of my favorite comics. It's actually, I think, the first thing I ever reviewed on my channel.
It would have been interesting, because like if you take the only thing you change in the plot of Infinity War is Thanos' motivation to snap half the planet or half of life is to impress Death. I almost feel like that would have worked. It would have made him much more unhinged and much more psychopathic, even though that technically you could argue his plan was pretty dumb as it is, because it's not really good. Just because you kill half the people doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to be okay with the resources and all that stuff. But I do think it would have been interesting though if he's just like, why are you doing this? It's like, because I'm impressed this hot bitch Aubrey Plaza. That's why.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought this had some fun stuff in it, but it was a C list movie for me. It was just, Ant-Man and Wasp. I'm not an Evangeline Lilly fan, so I just no. Bob?
Yeah, this is a C for me. It's a clear step down from the film that came before. The only reason it's not lower for me is because of the next movie on our list, which is better than. I'm gonna go with a C.
Warren?
I would have to say that the only reason why it's a C and not a D is because it did have some fun action scenes.
Yes.
And it wasn't like a terribly put together movie. It's just, it was not as good as the first one. And it just wasn't that rememberable. So yeah, definitely C.
Gray?
Yeah, I think I'm on board the, probably sounds wrong if I say I'm on board the C train. But yeah, let's go C's all around on this one. But there are some fun.
They do some better stuff with the action, with the small to big stuff. They do some
for sure
stuff with it.
And there's some really fun actors that are in this. Michael Pena, Walter Goggins, Bobby Cannavale, Judy Greer, David Dastmalchian. Man, I love a lot of the actors that are in this. Just, I wish. Oh, and even Lawrence Fishburne as well. And Michael Park's in this fucking thing, along with Michelle Pfeiffer. Just, I wish there was something that would have been worth all these actors to be in.
Right.
That first one was really fun, and I just didn't find this one fun.
All right. So next we got Captain Marvel. I think the movie that benefited most from coming between two very large movies.
Also
This
had the
gets-
most deceptive advertising, basically
100%.
implying that you wouldn't understand the other one unless you saw this. You
Yes.
will not understand.
And if you remember, people were like, "Oh, this is like the '90s version. Oh, it's gonna be fun like Guardians, and they're gonna have like Nirvana and Soundgarden and all this stuff in it." And you're like, okay, this is a D or ass. This is a DAS movie for me. Bob.
Oh God, yeah, it's a D minus. The only reason it's not ass is because there's several more there that are worse than this one, so I got to give it a D minus.
All right.
This is Shakespeare in form. S tier all the way. No, no, I would go with D because it is a movie. It does have a beginning, middle, and end, which is
It is a
more
movie
than
of all time.
which is more that could be said about some of the films coming up. So I'll give this one a D.
Gray.
Yeah. So you happen to mention that like I know all these directors and stuff. I have seen this one twice now, and I could not have told you that there were two different directors in it. It's Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. Yeah, it really didn't stick with me. And I watched it once when we were all told that we had to. And yeah, I couldn't have told you that Jude Law was in this movie until I rewatched it last year. It's like, whoa, Joe, that's right, that guy, he's here. Man, it is a very forgettable film. It's not a good film. The parts that I remember, I really do not like. But yeah, I got no love for this, and then I just felt so betrayed. I honestly forgot that both Ronan came back and Jude Law was in this film until I watched it just a year ago. But man, I just, it had a certain threshold that it had to reach when it said that in order to understand Endgame, you had to see this one. And just when no part of this made any difference to it, and you could have just said, oh yeah, we called in this other person.
No, yeah, they could have just shown like what they showed, like Nick Fury pressing the thing.
Just it made me hate it so much more. So it's hard to separate what is there that I can't remember that made no difference, and that feeling of just being manipulated into seeing it and making this $1 billion movie. So for me, I don't know. I guess it would be D.
B?
D, as in
okay.
You said B. I was like, wow.
I said, don't watch it again.
So anyway, after saying all that, S tier.
S tier.
No, I was hovering between S or D. Not quite ass. There's some that are worse.
So we're going into Endgame now. So I think this has S tier scenes in it, but the movie is very convoluted and all over the place for me, just because time travel's involved. And I always look at stuff and I'm like, God damn it. Once time travel to me gets involved, it tells me like you're trying to get yourself out of a pickle that you shouldn't have done, or you don't have a way out of it. So there's some great scenes in this movie. I don't like Fat Thor. I don't like other things. So I give this a B. Bob?
For me, I'm still going to keep it as an S tier, and part of that is because those scenes. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Laps. That the stuff that's bad about it. Yeah, I get that. But those S tier scenes were just so cool in the theater. The reaction that people were getting out of it, and when I walked out of the theater, I called my buddy and I was like, man, if I never see another Marvel movie again, I feel like I've seen it all. I feel like
I could see that. I could see that.
I feel like it gave me a complete story, and so for that reason, I'm still going to keep it as an S tier. When Captain America lifts the hammer, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sorry, that's too cool. My theater went absolutely nuts. So yeah, I'm going to keep it in an S tier because of those scenes.
I just don't like time travel. I just don't like it in certain things. That's all. I don't know. I just don't like time travel, and it's like kill Thanos right at the beginning. So we're getting dollar store Thanos, and like all the other stuff that they did. I don't like the whole you have to give up something you love for the Soul Stone, and it's like you're trying to go to Adam Warlock. You could have easily, but no, let's kill off other. Let's give ridiculous reasons to kill off characters that we like. But okay, but Warren, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay,
because I think this movie has S tier feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take the feelings out of it, it really is a B movie because it's not that well done. But I always considered it kind of like an after party. Like Endgame was the finale. Not Endgame, but like Infinity War was kind of like the finals, the peak. And then Endgame was kind of like, well, here, after this long journey, here is your after party. And we're going to show you all of the stuff that you've wanted to see. Captain America pick up the hammer, the trio taking on Thanos in a fist fight, which was an awesome fight to watch. But
and
as
don't forget,
itself,
ladies get together.
Oh, see, there was parts like that was just dumb. And
I'm sorry, ass. You just ruined it for me. It's ass.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna give it an A just because it did hit a lot of great nostalgia marks, but I can't put it in S tier. It's just not good enough technically.
Great.
Yeah, so I guess I'm the stick in the mud here. Yeah, to me, I agree with a lot of what Warren's saying, except for what he's saying, like the parts that were payoffs. I don't know. It didn't feel like it was like an earned payoff. It felt like it was just fan service. To go from something so high as Infinity War and to end it with that snap, and then just to immediately start it with, okay, just kidding. And then we're going to time travel. And then to kind of also play your greatest hits. You got to show the elevator scene again. You've got to go through a whole bunch of these. It just, to me, it didn't work
stairs.
It didn't work on like any of these levels for me, which just it sucks because unfortunately I wish I had that theater experience that Bob had where you were saying like the audience was cheering for it. Like I could just feel the energy like dying in the audience. And to go from that audience experience, I don't think we even talked about it, but that audience experience in Infinity Wars, just man, it's crazy. Like everyone is so hyped, and then it ends that way on such, like a down note, a note that we haven't gotten from any MCU film, to then just follow it up with this. Man, it didn't work for me. So I am agreeing with Warren when he said without the emotion, it is a B movie. The emotion wasn't there for me. So it's a B movie for me.
So we have 2 B's, an A, and an S. So, no, wait. S.
Yeah, I put it in an S. So,
and I put B, right? I said B too, right? And Warren said A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 B's, an A, and an S. So that what equals out to an A?
Yeah.
That
probably.
Yeah.
everybody all right with that?
It'd be an A or a B plus.
So
heck to the rest of the ones
that,
on the list. It looks like Citizen Kane. So
yeah, I would go A.
Put it as A. All right, so we get the second Spider-Man movie, which with Mysterio. God damn it. I don't know, man. So I saw this movie like in one of those XD theater or whatever that's called, the real big ones, IMAX. And dude, it looked weird. It didn't look right. There were like scenes like whenever he gets thrown into one of the walls, like it totally looked like a set. Like it was one of those things where like the super high quality made it worse for me. It just didn't look right. And Mysterio could be such a cool villain and idea, but I just didn't like the execution of it. I give this a C. Bob?
Yeah, probably a C. There were a few things that I did like about it. Like I wouldn't put this at a D level. Like I'm looking at those on the D level, and I do think it's better than those films. But I wouldn't go higher than a C.
Okay. Warren?
I agree, C. I think if it was in New York, it would be a B because I got tired of not seeing Spider-Man in New York swinging through buildings. But yeah, it's a C for me.
Gray?
Yeah. I think I kind of agree with the C. I don't know. I wanted to like it more, but
Yes,
a lot of it is
100%.
kind of forgettable.
100%.
It's got Gyllenhaal, so how? But again, they're kind of pulling this weird thing with what exactly they're going to say these villains are, and I don't know. It didn't rub me the right way.
So next we're going with Black Widow, the movie that probably made me the most mad because I will 100% tell you that I love Scarlett Johansson and I love Black Widow. Ass. When you have to, I figured it out. It's pheromones. Whack. That's how I felt through the whole movie. Ass. Bob.
The only reason I'm not going ass is because it has Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to D.
Warren.
I'm going to go with D because I liked Scarlett and I like the other chick too. What's
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, Florence Pugh. I like her. Her character.
Rachel Weisz.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hate what they did with the Taskmaster, and this film should have been before Endgame. And it's just there's just a lot of stuff in this movie that could have been better.
Yep. Gray.
I completely agree that there's a lot of stuff in this movie that could have been better. They gave it to Kate Shortland to direct, and she is kind of an interesting director to choose. They went kind of a weird tone with this one. They were in this era of kind of giving movies to interesting directors. But yeah, I think if this was sooner and they had kind of chosen the tone a little bit differently, I think this could have been an amazing film. But sadly, what we got really didn't rub me the right way. And man, you got Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, and Rachel Weisz. They're all amazing. And then you got Ray Winston in it as well. William Hurt. Man, this could have been amazing. I don't hate David Harbour, but I don't like the Alexei character as much as I think they want me to. So yeah, and then you mentioned the whole pheromone thing. Like I don't know, and then the whole Taskmaster thing.
Dude, when you first see Taskmaster and that dude is built like a shit brick house, and then when they take off the mask, you're like, you got titties. What happened? What happened to you? You just shrunk like a whole foot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have done something amazing here, and sadly, I think they really screwed over Scarlett Johansson with this.
Yep. So what do you give this?
I think a D.
All right. So this goes into the D. Okay. So next we got Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. I give this a D. It has a great action scene in it with the bus. It has awesome action scene. This needed to be a straight up, in my opinion, kung fu movie. They missed the mark of not having Jackie Chan in like he's alive and is a stunt coordinator and is the best. So what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. And Marvel's Katie was quite possibly one of the worst characters and annoyed the living shit out of me. And every single woman kneed him or kicked him in the balls at one point in this movie. And it was like, good God. Like, what are we doing here? And his sister learned by watching him and was better than him by watching. Shut up.
Some people are learners.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But I give this a D. Bob?
I'm going to give it a D too for every single reason that you just said. This should have been a kung fu movie. I don't know why they decided to make it with these cosmic implications and all of this other stuff. And I didn't need to see dragons flying around and everything. No, this should have been just a street level movie. That bus scene is pretty cool. And that actually took it from ass to a D, just that one scene.
Warren?
Yeah, I want to say C, but you guys are 100% correct. It is a D movie because the ending was terrible. I loved the fight scenes up until then. They didn't need the dragons. It didn't need any of that shit. This should have been a ground level Yakuza style kung fu movie. That's what we should have got. But yeah,
Greg?
Okay, I hear what you guys are saying.
Oh boy.
No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, Destin Daniel Cretton did this one. I dig a lot of what he's doing. Like, he knows how to do action. That bus scene is amazing. A lot of the like hand-to-hand fights are just amazing. I don't know why the fuck they brought in the dragons. I understand like the Aquafina thing. Everybody had this weird disease where they, for some reason, have to put Aquafina in their movie or have her as a voice in their movie. I don't understand it, but fair enough. I think we're all getting inoculated to that. I hope the contagion will stop its spread soon. But yeah, I think that's the character that I like the least in all of the MCU is Katie. Like, there's no reason why she should be that good. Like, okay, Shang-Chi has a reason why he's hiding this identity. He actually had training in the past, but he's not the one who actually saves anything. It's this person who's never picked up a bow before, but magically while running and, just using it for the very first time, they're able to hit very accurate shots that
She
save
watched
the
The
day.
Hobbit. She did watch The Hobbit, so
That's true. Again, as we established, there is such a thing as a visual learner. You're right. That makes sense. But there's some really amazing things going on here. On top of that, they're able to actually bring back Trevor Slattery and to make me not hate the character. I don't know that it completely redeemed it, but I think Ben Kingsley is part of the funniest thing in this movie. I wish it was more ground level, but if they had kept in Trevor Slattery, I'd be okay with it. To be honest, they're making me okay with Ben Kingsley in the MCU because of this movie. That being said, I'd give it a C. It's not great.
All right, so 3 Ds and a C. We'll keep it at D. Okay, so next is The Eternals. And I'm going to tell you 2 things about this movie. 2 things that I thought were hilarious. So I went, you guys, I don't know if Bob was there when my buddy John was on the panel. Were you here whenever he was on here? Okay. So he came with me to see this, right? We usually go see movies together. And he leaned over to me and he goes, dude, this movie's really long, right? And I said, John, it's only been on for 28 minutes. Our theater was full. And all he was like, it's only been fucking 28 minutes? Everybody looked at us. The second this dude cracks me up, dude. He's so funny. And there's these 4 black dudes walk past us during this one scene. They were just leaving, and I just heard up to the right of me, Jamaica, we are a bobsled team. And I thought it was the funniest shit, and we all died. And yeah, that's the most entertainment I got out of that piece of shit. That is ass. I don't care. It's ass. Bob.
Ass. This is not only one of the worst MCU films out there, this is one of the worst comic book films out there. I think this was the worst film I saw that year. This is ass.
Warren?
I hate this movie.
I think the only thing this film got right was how they represent the speedster, like the speed powers. I think that was the only thing that I thought the film did good if I had to say something nice about it with a gun to my head. So, but yeah, ass. Did
you like the sex scene? When he was having sex with her torso?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay, great.
Well, maybe if they'd shown a little bit more, I could have liked it more.
Great.
Okay. So this is their weird period where Chloe Zhao was the director of this one. I don't know why they gave it to her. She's made some really interesting pictures, but nothing that kind of fits in the MCU. This is one of the most unique looking and really beautiful looking films. It doesn't have that gloss like a lot of the other MCU ones do. But yeah, some interesting choices were taken here. There's some really cool actors who are in this. I like seeing a lot of these guys on screen together. Anytime you can put Selma Hayek in any sort of superhero outfit, I'm there. Like, let's do this. But I mean, Kit Harington as Dane Whitman, that could have been awesome. And you get possibly the only on-screen Mahershala Ali as Blade thing. Technically, you're only seeing Kit Harington, but you're hearing Mahershala Ali's voice.
Right.
But he gets the sword. I wish they had, kind of
Black
told
Knighted
that
him?
story, but that's never going to happen now.
No.
And you've got some interesting actors like Bill Skarsgård is in this one. I don't know why we have Harry Styles, but he's in this one too. There's some interesting things that could have kind of paid off, but man, it just feels like everything missed the mark. That being said, yeah, the speed in this one is kind of amazing. The way that they're able to show super speed just really puts Flash to shame. That being said,
Well, I mean, me going outside getting the mail puts Flash to shame. So
fair enough.
it's really not.
Just you'd think you might take this into consideration when making yours, and if it doesn't look as good, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would assume that the gauntlet has been laid down, so you've got to at least match that. I love Kumail Nanjiani, but this role is very it's hard to like any of these people. It's hard to get to know any of them. They tried for a tone that I don't think they quite reached. I know coming up from some of the other directors who kind of tried to get their name removed, the studios really interfered and told them what they needed to actually include in the movie. I'm not sure if that's a case here. I would like to think from seeing some of Chloe Zhao's other films, he knows how to actually tell a story. I don't know what happened here because it doesn't feel like any of the arcs for any of these characters are necessarily complete. And it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's got proper editing to where the pacing is interesting. For everything that this has going for it, I don't know why it's so ineffective. That being said, I liked it a little more than you guys. I think I'd put it at a D since it's so beautiful. But
well, this is ass.
It's not a good film. Okay, fair enough.
Well, we got 3 asses to 1 D. So
fair enough. Good ratio.
Yeah. So I mean, it fell flat a lot for me. Like and this was the first time, and I'll say this, that this was the first time that outside influences and stuff that was being said made me go, I don't want to fucking see this movie. I don't want to see this movie. And I went to see it just because, it was an MCU movie. There was a lot of things like that red carpet they had for it. If you go back and watch some of the stuff that people were saying, it was unbelievably stupid. Like stupid shit was being said. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't hit with me. It just didn't hit with me. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about their relationships. I didn't care how they're only going to interfere whenever it's a deviant, yet fucking Thanos is literally a half deviant. It's whatever. It's just shut up, movie. Shut the fuck up. We got Spider-Man No Way Home. All right, so the movie's plot for me was totally ridiculous. And just when you watch it again, you're just like, oh, it's not really that good. But everything surrounding it with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, there's so many great scenes in this movie, and there's so much fan service in this movie. And it's stuff that Spider-Man fans wanted to see. And so for that, I give this movie a B. Bob?
I liked it a lot more than you did. Apparently, I think this is an A-level movie that's got S-tier level scenes in it, and I think
it has S-tier scenes in it. The plot though is just
No, I get what you're saying. The reactions in my theater, again, this is one of those where people were going nuts. I love that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man got a kind of a redemption by him saving MJ. This movie, kind of like for Gray, that Captain America made you not hate Chris Evans and Guardians made you not hate Vin Diesel. This movie made me not hate Zendaya or Zendaya. So for that reason, I'm giving this an S tier. Those S level scenes just really took it up for me. I had a blast with this one.
Warren?
This one is the end game of Spider-Man movies. It was S tier feelings with probably a B level plot. It did a really great job of showing love and respect to Garfield and to Tobey. The scene where Tom Holland is going to kill Green Goblin, and then Toby stops it, and they don't even say a word. It's done all with facial expressions, and it was just such a beautiful moment. I felt like it gave even some levels of closure to both those guys' runs of Spider-Man, but at the same time, though, it wasn't S tier in quality, in my opinion, so I put it at A.
He says, this is Bob tier. Great. How do you feel, buddy?
Bob tier.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with a lot of what everyone's saying here. Subjectively, I think this is my favorite of the MCU Spider-Mans. It sounds like everybody's kind of saying that. I think it just is that respect that they paid everyone from the franchise, really. Not only, are they giving Toby and now I'm blanking on his name, Garfield, their version, they're paying respects to their version of Spider-Man, but man, bringing back everyone, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, just man, and even Jamie Foxx in this one, just to me, the Dafoe and Molina performances, though, just completely knock it out of the park for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a perfect film. To me, it's not quite on the level of what the Russo brothers were able to do, but for sure, this is right up there in the MCU for me. So it's a really strong A.
Right, so
I like what they're doing, and it was a fun watch.
We got SAAB, so that goes to the A tier. So we're gonna address this comment here, just for someone who knows it's not good. Okay, so I think I personally get what you're saying. I think the story is ridiculous and it's all over the place and it's held together very terribly. And I thought that the outcome,
Sling Ring, though.
I thought that the outcome of the movie, there were too many things that just happened, but there was so much fan service, and that's not always a bad thing. Like for me, that made me enjoy the movie more because the story was not, in my opinion, good. It just wasn't good.
They did the fan service so well that you kind of ignored the problems with the story and the script in that one.
And
the thing about the fan service is, to me, it didn't feel like fan service for fan service sake. I mean, they actually gave Toby and Andrew stuff to do to where
they were in it a lot
relevant
more
to the plot. So
right,
that's what I appreciated even more about the fan service that they gave, is that I deep down I knew it was just fan service, but it didn't feel that way to me. So I that's another reason I loved it.
And that's the great thing about movies, is everybody has their own opinion on them. And that's why I kind of wanted to do this and do the average of what, where we selected it, because I think that's fair. I think that's a fair way of seeing things, because there's movies that I like. If we came here with like a top 10 of our just favorite movies, we took a week and wrote down what our favorite movies are, they're going to be so dramatically different. It's going to be just very different. But yeah, and I could see, like, what Harry Guy Sketch is saying. I totally agree with him. Me personally, I did not think that when I watched it the first time, I was like, I loved it. But when I had a buddy over who hadn't seen it when it came out on Blu-ray and stuff. When I watched it, I was just kind of like, what? What? Wait a minute. What? So I agree with you on that point. I do. So now we're going to get into some not so good things. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I did not like this at all. I saw this in the theater with my buddy John, my wife, and my buddy Jeff. And I think my buddy JC came too. And I just did not like this movie at all. I give this a D. That's all. I just don't like. America Chavez is one of the dumbest characters. And when you need to put a character in a movie for the whole crux of the movie to work, like how do we get from WandaVision to Doctor Strange to this thing that we need Wanda to do because she's angry? America Chavez. Fuck out of here. Get out. D. Bob.
Yeah, this is a D for me. I didn't like the plot of it. I will say this: I wanted to like this more because of Raimi directing this, and I think there's some good Sam Raimi moments in it. But the stuff I didn't like, I really didn't like. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the stuff that I didn't like, I really didn't like it. So it's a D for me. It's not ass, but yeah, I can't go higher than a D.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going with a D. I don't understand some of the choices they made. The way they had Wanda tear through the Illuminati like they were like nothing. I just didn't like any of that. I just just a D movie. It felt really like kind of slapped together.
It totally they gave us that because people wanted John Krasinski so bad, and they were like, "You want him? Here you go."
And we're gonna
we're gonna just make like, how did Professor X not see any of this coming? All right, Gray.
Yeah. So unlike MSK, I don't choose the D. This one to me is a D. You got Sam Raimi. So I want to love this more. I like Bob was saying, you hear Sam Raimi is doing a kind of horror take on Doctor Strange. Man, that could be amazing.
Okay.
And then you find out the limitations that he was kind of brought in last minute. His hands were tied. They're literally building sets and there is no script. So what do you do? And that's why we end up with this, where literally scenes are written around essentially set pieces. And that's it. You already have this set, write it into a script, make it work. Sadly, I don't think he was able to make it work. But those few moments where you actually get to see him do Sam Raimi, especially the mirror scene, man, that is awesome. I wish I got to see what he could have been unleashed to do on this. But there's some elements of this that really work for me. I know I'm way more of a fan of WandaVision than I think anyone else here.
I like WandaVision.
I liked WandaVision.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I didn't like the ending, but I did like it.
I think they just, I'm the same way. I thought the ending was weaker than the beginning.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, like I understand how we get Wanda to this point, and I don't think this was intended to be the end of Wanda. I do believe in Mayo Vision we might see her come back, and she might play a pivotal role in the future. But we'll see.
The rumors are too that the reason why Doom wants Franklin is because he's trying to resurrect Wanda. So I don't know how much that's true, but I'm not. Who knows?
We'll see. We've got Tommy and whatever his name is already. So yeah, good times. But yeah, as for this film, I wanted to like it a little bit more. I think I'd go low C on this, but for me, it's not ass. There's some redeeming things. Watching it a second time, I really dug a lot of the performances. And again, when Raimi gets to the scary stuff, when they let Raimi do his thing, Zombie Strange is pretty awesome. That mirror scene is pretty awesome. Just, yeah, sadly, there's a lot of Chavez.
So
I
have to address this comment right here. I understand America Chavez. I actually have Vengeance #1. I know Nick Dragotta and Casey created the character. And I have one question. What's she doing now? Oh, nothing. So the people must, they must be chuds too to not even push their own fucking character that nobody gives a flying fuck about. Sorry. I mean, I'm not an idiot. Like, I understand the character. Like, I'm sorry. I just have to stop that right there. It's not that
he does have a point though. We are chuds.
I'm okay. If you want to be a chud, then there you go. I'm just saying, like, I don't care for the character. The actress, I don't know. Like, I when I talk about the characters, I have no, like, I don't care about the actors or actresses. I always take the side of them because they're that take whatever was in the movie. That's the director going, that's it. That's the one, that's the one we're using. So I very rarely blame them.
I mean, you could have, and this is no offense to the actress, but you honestly could have took her out and just made it an amulet that helps you travel through the multiverse, and Strange is trying to keep it from Wanda, and the film would have been exactly the same.
Yeah,
I think they do her a disservice.
They do her a disservice in it, yeah.
Because it was like
everyone a disservice.
All you need to do is believe. Oh, I got it now. Punch stars.
I gotta say, it's not the worst Raimi movie that I've seen, and it's got some of the best Raimi effects for me. But I understand people like Harry Guy's sketches saying like it's one of the most insanely bad ever, comparing it to Rise of Skywalker. I get that. I can see why you'd hate it. For me, man, that mirror scene.
I just look at it and it's like it has Sam Raimi, and if they wouldn't have handcuffed him, because you could tell what's his and what's not. Like when they go to the house. And before the mirror scene, that's amazing looking. That is freaking
now. Is
great.
He still doing Strange 3? Because this movie didn't do terrible.
No, it did very well. Actually.
Yeah, they did very well. So did they give Sam Raimi full for Strange 3, or is that still going? Or
do not know. Yeah,
because I would like to see a Strange movie from Sam Raimi from start to finish. No one messing with him. Like he has it from, he goes with it on his own.
All right. So yeah, that I don't know. We might have to, look that up at maybe in a different show, or if you could look that up, that would be great.
Jamie, where's the Jamie at?
Harry Guy Knuckles. You don't have to listen. Like, dude, everybody can say whatever they want, and the only thing that I don't like in the chat can say whatever they want, but the only thing that we will not talk about on this show is gender and politics. That's it. That is it. Because I'm just so tired of talking about
There's another show that'll do a lot of
There's
that.
a lot. Yeah, there's another panel show if you'd like to.
Yeah, they'll talk about
but
stuff
you guys
they haven't
are
seen before. We'll go to all the politics.
But you guys are allowed to talk about whatever you want. And I try to, if I see something that catches my eye, I try to talk about it. But the chat is what makes this show. This is I love interacting with people. Like it might, like even with me and Tiamat, like he knows I'm just being me. Like I don't hold any shit towards anybody at all. Like at all. Me and him have these interactions all the time. He's a good dude. And I'm sure you are. And I want you guys to be able to say whatever you want. I don't want you to feel like that you have to apologize for anything. But the next movie for me is in Thor 4, whatever the hell it's called. I hated this movie. And I put it in the ass tier because I loved God of Thunder so much, the comic. I loved it so much. And I literally reviewed the whole thing on my channel, on my Laps Comic Fan channel. And I loved it. And I thought Gore the God Butcher was one of the coolest villains that we have had a new villain made in such a long time. And his backstory was so cool. And it was done. It's been done a million times before, but the way that Jason Aaron did it, it was so awesome. And Ribick's art is just so great. And we got none of that. And for a guy called Gore the God Butcher, we sure didn't see a lot of gods getting butchered at all. Like, except for the beginning. And it's one of the worst movies that the MCU has produced, in my opinion. So ass. Bob?
Ass. A complete misuse of Christian Bale. Screaming goats. Taika Waititi's worst habits dialed up to 100. Yeah, I hated this movie. It's ass.
Yeah. Warren?
Complete ass. You guys said it all.
All right. There.
Yeah. So I think you guys are underappreciating what Taika Waititi is capable of in other films, but this one's really ass to me.
You did it.
Yeah.
I love the way you say that, Gray. You're underappreciated, but yeah, it's ass.
I mean, everything that you guys said, like, so I guess the only thing you didn't mention is Natalie Portman's finally back as Jane Foster. That could be awesome. We got Scarlett Johansson out of the MCU. I wouldn't mind getting Natalie Portman in there, but this ain't it. And having Christian Bale come in as Gore, but playing it out that way. Also having Russell Crowe come in as Zeus. Man, none of this worked for me. And having the Guardians in there as well. Just none of this was pleasant. Where I thoroughly enjoyed Ragnarok. It was a chore to rewatch this one. It just was, no part of it was pleasant. So yeah, I think this is the first one I put in ass. But yeah, I'll put it in there.
All right. We're ass and titties. Oh God, why can't I see what the next movie is? Is this Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, Wakanda Forever.
Okay,
That's Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I think so.
all right. So Wakanda Forever. This was definitely for me a downgrade from the first Black Panther movie. I thought it had a really cool chase scene. I thought that was neat. But overall, I did not care for the movie nearly as much as the first one. So I put this in the C, very low C list. Bob?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And
put
it was
in
and it was long as fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in C as well. I really think they should have recast it instead of doing or taking the story the direction they did. Did not like the addition of Ironheart, but that did give us that gem of a show, Ironheart. You know, like bringing her into this. The other thing is if you look at the two films that it's sandwiched between, this does not. It's not nearly as bad as those two. So yeah, for me, it's a C.
Warren?
I'm gonna have to go with C. I agree with you guys. It was there were some parts that were kind of cool, but overall, it just, they should have recasted. They should have just held off on it, recasted, regrouped, and then come up with something new.
Yeah. Great.
So the problem with that is they can't. This is the Marvel machine. They announce a date that something is coming out, and then it will steam forward, whether or not you have the actors, scripts, or directors in hand. They will find a way to make that date, no matter the amount of reshoots. So it sucks. This is not my favorite Ryan Coogler film. I think this might be my least favorite Ryan Coogler film, to be honest. It sucks because the hands are kind of tied. Like, you just made $1 billion other one. It went up for Oscars. Of course, you can't back out now. MCU is going to steam forward at full speed. So what do you do? And then they have recast other people before. Like, we did get the whole Rhodey thing. They're not going to pay him Robert Downey Jr. money, but man, an actual lead actor in an Oscar-winning film, I think they just thought that was a bridge too far. I think now they've realized they can do that. Granted, Thaddeus Ross is not exactly, a main character or anything like that, but I think nowadays they would have recast it. I just think they weren't sure if they could. And this is kind of a way to show an honor to him, but yeah. It doesn't land anywhere near as close as that first one. I really dig the first one. For me, I think I'd go like extremely low B on this one. Since you all went C, I guess that means C.
Yes, sir. Well, here's the other thing too, Gray. Do you think when Terrence Howard went in with that math that he does and tried to renegotiate his contract, they didn't know how to pay him in circles, oranges, and seed bark?
Well, that's the thing. He's got his own shapes. He has reinvented them. They didn't understand, but there's a way to make the finances work. They just needed to go with his model. I wish they understood Terryology, but here we are.
Next is The Marvels. I give this ass only because I tried to watch it 3 times and I've gotten through 45 minutes of it, and no, thank you.
Did you make it to the double Dutch scene though? It gets so much better once Intergalactic kicks in.
I can't remember if I got to the Beastie Boys and Double Dutch. I remember you telling me about it, and I tried to watch it again after we talked about this the last time. And no, I did not. So, yeah, no. This is ass.
Ass.
Gray.
Okay, so hear me out. This time I'm not doing a bit on this one. So Nia Acosta is the director of this one. She submitted a movie, a final cut to the studio, and they said, no, you need to take 45 minutes out of it. So she did. resubmitted it, and they're like, okay, now you need to take out another 45 minutes. It really sucks. So the movie that we got is not the movie that she intended to make, which really sucks. This is the one that is the most studio interference. That being said, I didn't have a horrible time watching this. Imani Vellani, Iman Vellani. I don't know why I wanted to add an extra E in her name, but Iman Vellani, you can tell that she actually wants to be Kamala Khan, and she actually gives some emotion compared to Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, who is a, unresponsive, unemoting.
Oh, she definitely is a basketball with Mr. Potato Head parts. She is.
It is weird, but like that kind of juxtaposition between somebody who actually wants to be there and this person who looks like they aren't even there. That kind of works in this weird way. And they do this weird training montage, which does include double dutch. I'm just saying it kind of works, man. This, I remember all the actors that are in it. I remember having a good time. It was not a chore on the rewatch. To me, it's not ass. I'd go a C on this one. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
Okay.
I'll give you one thing, Gray. The Iman Vellani, I do like her as Ms. Marvel. I have a lot of respect for her because, like you said, she wants to be there. And I think she does respect the comics. So I give her that.
And Monica Rambeau wasn't the worst. And then this is the one that gave us the MCU after credit scene, didn't it?
Yeah. And I think I messed up
not
the
MCU,
order here.
Fox Universe. I
think I did mess up the order here. So we'll put this, what did you give it, Gray? The Marvels?
I think I did C. So all ass and then a C. Does that give us ass?
That gives us ass. That's 3. So you go to C. So 1 ass brings it down to a D. 2 ass brings it down to ass, and there's an extra ass. So
it deserves better. But I didn't want to give it a B or an A.
But I did mess up the order.
I want to lie on this.
The Ant-Man and Quantumania was the next one, and that is complete ass for me as well.
Yeah, that's ass.
Ass.
I was so disappointed because I went with my wife. It was like literally one of the first date nights that we had in so long, and I told her, listen, I said, I don't want to see this. She goes, I liked Ant-Man and Wasp. Like, can you see it? And I was like, all right, whatever. And we both looked at each other after this and was like, okay. All right. Yeah. So ass, ass all around.
Experience. This is my second full-on ass.
All right. And I mean, like, everybody talks about Kang and all that stuff. The problem, like, there were so many problems with Kang. Like, the fact that they literally gave us more information about Kang in the end of Loki, right, than they did in like 50 years of comics. Like literally, Kang would come interspersely, and we didn't know who he was, what was going on. And it's just like it was bound to fail. It was doomed to fail, like, because there wasn't enough of Kang, and the stuff that they were doing was so not like old as opposed to what they did later with Fantastic Four. So like it was doomed to fail from the start. Like it just was. Now we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I liked this movie. I liked this movie a lot. I'm going to give this movie an A. I liked it a lot. I mean, the villain, yeah, but I liked it. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I liked seeing Rocket's backstory. I like what they did with it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that up as an A as well. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I liked it a lot more than the second one. I also think that it's better than those others. The scene where Star-Lord thinks that Rocket has died and whatnot. I mean, oh God, I was like really feeling it there. So yeah, for me, it's an A.
Warren?
Oh, and the other thing I really liked about it is when you watch the whole Guardians story from the first one all the way up to Guardians 3. I love the arc for Nebula and where she ends up
Yes.
Yeah. So for that reason, where she's at, because she's referring to them all as her family and stuff, where in the first one, she's the furthest thing from that. And then by the end, that's her family too. And I was just impressed with the arc her character went on.
Warren?
I have to go with S tier because I just think it was a great. The whole overall, I love the trilogy. This was probably one of the best films after Endgame that they did.
High evolutionary.
It just hit all the feels. Everyone got good closure. So I'm gonna go S tier.
Gray?
Yeah. As the resident gun simp, yeah, I gotta say this one hit me in the feels. I think it's a good way to close out characters that I didn't know that I was going to feel this way about. Yeah, for me, I like it a lot more than Guardians 2. Maybe I like the first one a little bit more, but this completes the journey. To me, this is exactly what I needed out of this. So I'd go S on this.
All right, so we got two
I don't know where
S's.
that leaves us.
We got two
S's,
S's and an A's. We'll just do what we did before. I don't mind it being an S because I
don't mind it either.
I really like this movie. I put it this way. This is one of the ones I didn't see in the theater, and I kicked myself in my own ass when I finally watched this, and I was like, I should have saw this in the theater. So I don't mind it being an S. I don't mind that. I thought it was great. I thought it was, especially from what we were getting too.
Yeah.
Okay. Deadpool Wolverine. I give this movie an A. I liked it.
I'm going to give it an A too. This is another one that's got those S tier moments, especially when you watch it the very first time.
Yes.
I don't think those moments are as good the second and third time around, but it's still a solid movie. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is awesome. So yeah, it's a solid A for me, bordering on an S tier.
But plus, for all those years that they said that costume would not work, dude, when he put that on and the whites of the eye, dude, he looked insane. He looked crazy. Warren?
I want to say S tier, but I'm going to go with A just because it does hit all the nostalgia stuff good. It plays beautiful respect to the Fox universe, but it is overall kind of like script wise not the strongest film in the world, but it had so much cool stuff, good chemistry, good writing. So yeah, I put it at a strong A tier.
Yeah. Gray?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for almost all the reasons that Warren said, I think I'd also go A on this one. I don't think it's quite as solid as it should be to be an S. Like, it is a little plot light, but man, are those moments there. Like, I thought for sure it would be I don't know what you want to call it, not quite blasphemy, but sacrilege to kind of treat old man Logan that way. But man, I absolutely love that opening. I thought they would not be paying the respect that they did to everything from the Fox universe, yet in such this tongue-in-cheek way. To me, it really works, but it's not a perfect movie for me. I wish there was a little bit more intricacy in the plot, but
what is Deadpool? I mean,
fair enough, but you're bringing in Cassandra Nova, and you're essentially doing
100%.
You're kind of doing the Battle World thing here. I don't know. I think it could have been amazing, and it is just shy of that for me.
It wasn't as well written as 2. Like Deadpool 2 was a better start to finish movie than Deadpool 3 was, but Deadpool 3 had all of this crazy nostalgia. First MCU appearance of Deadpool. We got to see Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Charming Taint Man.
Yep.
But go ahead. Yeah,
okay. But X-23 though. I understand, like, if you're gonna hate on all these cameos coming in, but dude, she's awesome in this.
Heck yeah, I liked X-23.
Oh, and Human Torch getting skinned alive. That was hilarious.
There's a lot to like. But like there, Cassandra Nova. If you weren't going to do more and have, I think, Professor X in the movie, it falls short because the Cassandra Nova storyline in the comics is fucking awesome. It is great, man. It is heart-wrenching too. It's great. Warren, you probably know. It's very fucked up.
Well, yeah, hopefully they're not gun shy about using her after the reboot with the X-Men, because she would be a great story arc for a movie. She'd make a great movie villain for the X-Men. Yeah, because it is a really fucked up story.
Okay, so next we got Captain America, Captain Falcon, Brave New World.
We have the Incredible Hulk 2.
That doesn't have the Incredible Hulk in it.
The best Hulk movie without the Hulk in it.
I thought they missed on a bunch of things in this movie. Like, I thought he should have hulked out in the submarine when he was starting to, because that would have been awesome. Would have been cool. But there was just so many things that were missed in this movie. It just the passing of mantles to me it just never worked. It has some in comics. I remember whenever it got passed to Bucky and everybody hated it. Like, don't let people try to fool you. People hated it at first. It did not sell well. And then people started liking it. And then it started selling. And, Falcon America, Captain America does not sell. It just doesn't. And I think he was better as Falcon. I thought if Falcon deserved his own movie. And like, from what he said, the senator, you got to do better, Marvel. You got to do better. Bob.
Oh God. So yeah. This is a D- for me. I think it's a little better than some
Thanks for showing, Harry guy. Sorry, Bob.
No, you're good. Yeah, I think it's better than some of these ass films there, just because I think it's got elements that it could have been something really good, and instead it's not. You know what? I'm still going to put it in the ass tier, but it's going to be at the top of the ass tier. And the reason I'm going to say that is because I keep going back to the MSK show. I'm never going to watch this movie again, so that should tell you something. So I'd much rather be on MSK than watch this again. So,
wow, that's saying something.
I'm not that bad on it. I'm going to give it a strong D. I do feel that they could have made Anthony Mackie's Falcon work if they gave him a fair chance to do it. But in the TV series and also in his own movie, he was not the star and the main point of the film. Right. And if you're not going to give him a villain and a purpose and his own story, then just give it to Bucky, because you already established Bucky as this Winter Soldier assassin. So that means you can dig up all sorts of great things about his past to cause him a conflict as Captain America. They should have done that with Anthony Mackie. Like, how does he go through a TV series and now a movie, and we have no villain for him? No one is there to take on him. No one has a history with him. He was a side character in his own movie. And then Kevin Feige threw him under the bus when he said the problem with Captain America 4 was Chris Evans wasn't in it. When it's like, no, it was terribly written. It was all over the place. You guys didn't give him a fair shot. And if anything, like, this was like Finn level disrespect towards him as an actor and a character, and I really don't think it's fair. Like he was never given a chance to be Captain America because they never treated him as his own character. They just kind of threw him in these projects where they were more interested either in setting up other characters or he wasn't the main. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier, U.S. Agent could have easily been the main character of that story, and there was no villains in that story either. There was no point to it from point A to point B. Like, him even giving up the shield was stupid. So to me, it's not an ass, but I'm only giving it a D because I think it's completely unfair how they treated him
Well,
as
you
an
gave it
actor
a
and his
strong
character.
D. You gave it
A strong D.
and a strong D leads to ass.
That's
So-
true.
Gray.
My bad with the double mute thing. I
No,
really
it's okay.
suck.
It's okay.
Yeah, my bad. I don't think I could give them a strong D. Yeah, to me, everything that you're saying, I could see, as Orange Avenger is saying, I could see giving them a weak D or a strong ass. Because man, everything that they were able to pull off with the show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it seems like they tried to rehash and did it poorly in this one. Like the Isaiah Bradley thing just didn't work. And then they didn't know which direction they're going. And it just seems like every single bit of it didn't work. And I guess it didn't from the beginning because they did like 3 sets of reshoots. Just what we ended up with is a muddled thing that what tone are they going for? But hey, look, cherry blossoms. Yeah, for me, it's ass.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too? I thought for like the Steelbook edition, what would be amazing is people don't remember, like you said, there was a bunch of reshoots. This movie was totally reshot from the ground up 2 times.
Yeah. It
The
was
Steelbook should be all of the movies edited into one 7-hour amazing terrible movie. Yes.
All in black and white with slow-mo.
So we're getting the last 2 movies. We'll try to go quicker on these. So Gray, I know you gotta go. I'm sorry for keeping you late. With Thunderbolts. I enjoyed Thunderbolts up until the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, I've never had this happen where 10 minutes ruined a movie for me. Like I wasn't as down as on people as the Century, like, or down as on the Century as other people were, because what was the only way you were going to beat him? You didn't have the power guys to beat him. You didn't have the thing, so you had to appeal to his emotions or his, whatever side. That's how it was going to happen, right? I wouldn't have picked Century for the villain, right? I wouldn't have done that, but they did, and that was really the only way you were going to get through it. So, here's the new Avengers. That pissed me off. That was just like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? So for that, I give this a C. Bob?
All right. I'm going to give it a B. I'm like you. I actually enjoyed this movie. I had a good time with it for the most part. It made me laugh in certain parts. I didn't like the group hug at the end. I didn't like the new Avengers. I understand why they did it, but I just didn't particularly like it. I would have actually given it an A if it hadn't been for the last 10 minutes. I actually enjoyed this one. Warren?
I have to agree with you guys on this one. I want to give it an A because I really like this movie up until the last 10 minutes. Like it hits a lot of strings, especially when they talk about depression and the loneliness and the mental health. There's a lot of great stuff that they pull off in this movie, much better than the first Suicide Squad movie did, because this is essentially kind of like Marvel's version of that David Goyer Suicide Squad, a team of anti-hero misfits or villains, and they, for some reason, they team them up with a god, and then that god character goes bad, and the team of misfits has to beat him. They made it more realistic, like he actually beat him using, calming his mental health because he's essentially having like a anxiety attack while wiping out New York. But yeah, I think B. I think it deserves a B, but I think they really ruined it at the end. The new Avengers thing was dumb. If you're gonna have the Century, at least give them one superpowered character. There's like where's Thor, Scar. You introduce Scar and She-Hulk. Maybe this would have been a great way to bring Scar in. Something aside from just 3 ninjas and a ghost phaser. Like, it was just And they
Great.
Also, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, it's just that last 10 minutes terrible.
I wanted to rank this lower, but then they took out Taskmaster. So I don't know. This is like a meh movie to me. You're right. There are certain parts that kind of lower it for me. Calling it the new Avengers, I don't know. It's pretty cheesy, but that doesn't completely lose it for me.
It's just
that being
how
said,
it
it's
happened,
just-
I think.
yeah, no, I get it, and the whole soccer team thing, like, yeah, yeah, there's certain aspects of this that I like. I do like the whole kind of tackling depression thing, but at the same time, it only goes so deep. Just I don't know. I guess I wanted a little bit more out of it, but it ended up meh. So for me, it's a C. Pretty solid
So
C.
we got
The C.
2 C's and 2 B's. So where you
I
guys
mean, I'd be fine with a C myself. So it's like,
okay.
I wouldn't be upset.
Is that
if
all
it's
right,
a
Bob?
C.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's still entertaining.
Yeah.
I still like the movie. I still liked it. So we'll talk about Fantastic Four. I hated this movie. It was like at first everything was so cool, and like I was like, all right, cool. Like it looked great. Like I liked the setting, and then Galactus was amazing. And when they get to a Galactus, I was like, this is awesome. Like this is so awesome. And that whole like 20-minute sequence was great. And then I'm like, this is it. It's ramping up. Cool. That first like 45, 50 minutes was worth it. Awesome. And then it just died. It just died a death. And they literally figure it out in the last 5 minutes. And I'm just like, and they show them not work. The only time they're working as a team is literally like in one scene. And it's like, I don't get it. And then Johnny,
There were flashbacks.
But they weren't really doing anything in them.
I mean,
they didn't
yeah,
really do
true.
much in them. Like I'm just saying, like here's the thing, I wanted to like this movie. Really, I'm being honest. Like, my sister came with us to see this, which was interesting because she usually doesn't do that, and she doesn't, know too much about stuff. And she was like, so, what's all this about? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, she was like, oh, Pedro Pascal's in it. Okay. And I was like, yes, but I have to ask you one question. And she said, what? I said, when you look at Pedro Pascal, does he give off smartest man alive vibes? And she said, no. And then whenever the Thing grew a rock beard, she just said, I just felt this. Isn't he rocks? I said, yes, he is. And they put the Silver Surfer in there. And it feels like the only reason why they made it a woman was to give Johnny Storm something to, obsess about. And it just like, she wasn't intimidating at all. With the real eyeballs and the look of it, it was just wrong. Like, it was just wrong to me. And if they were going to make it a woman, then that's fine. But just make it all silver. No teeth. No, that just all like everything. Like, stop doing stuff like that. It didn't feel right to me. I did not like this movie. I give this movie a D or an ass or whatever. I don't care how if you like the story and oh man, they got the family great. This shit was fucking ass. This movie franchise is cursed. It is cursed. And it's like whenever Rise of Silver Surfer and Jessica Alba are better than what this is, and I don't know. I'm sorry. Ass. Bob?
I'm going to give this a C. I expected it to think that it was ass, and I actually like this a lot more. That I agree that third act is definitely the weakest part of the film. I think that they did not do enough to showcase their powers as a team. I really wanted to see more of that team interaction, but I really enjoyed that first 45, 50 minutes of the film. I loved the sequence when they went to Galactus and they were trying to escape. I thought that was pretty cool. So overall, because I didn't hate this, and to me, this felt like what they should have done when they got to Phase 4, and that was kind of have a tone that feels like a Phase 1 movie. That this kind of felt like a Phase 1 movie to me. Because of that, I'm gonna give it a C.
Warren?
This movie gets an A for me. It would have got an S, but they needed to expand more of the fight scenes. There should have been more of a full fight scene at the beginning for the flashbacks, whether it be Mole Man. I liked Mole Man in the movie, so they could have expanded on him more. I think there should have been another more action post between the space scene and the final scene, there should have been some more action between there. But I think the actors knocked it out of the park. I liked the way they were all characterized. I really enjoyed Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic. I might be one of the few people who did, but I thought he was such a like everyone. Like what I thought was interesting was everyone in that movie, The Thing, Human Torch, and Sue did not blame him one bit for the accident, and he was devastated over it, and it showed up in multiple times in the film. And I really liked so much about this movie. And I really think that if this was done in phase 1, it would have been $1 billion movie and it would have been fine. I wouldn't have cared if it was set in its own universe, because I really thought the universe they created was interesting. It was almost kind of had that first Avenger period piece kind of to it, even though it was kind of like a 1950s modern day sci-fi kind of feel to it.
It's like the Jetsons.
Like the Jetsons. I would have enjoyed just if they were like, no, this is its own Elseworld thing, and we're just going to keep it over here. But yeah, I loved the movie. I bought it. I've watched it multiple times. I just think that it got a little slow in places and needed more action to showcase the powers. I really like how they turned Mr. Fantastic into like this spider monkey parkour kind of thing. Like he's the speed, like he's like that ninja of the team now. I do think they overblew Sue's powers though when she pushed Galactus to the wormhole. That was dumb. That was dumb. But I like the Silver Surfer, but I do think that you could have had the real Silver Surfer in there and it would have been just as good, because really the only point that she was a female was that maybe it was the reflection of the mother losing her kid, so she understands the sacrifice. Maybe that could have been thrown in there more, but honestly, if you would have just had the regular Silver Surfer, all of that would have still worked.
Johnny Storm going to be super attracted to regular Silver Surfing.
Just take out that part. Give him someone else to hump.
He just would have been super gay. That's
all. But I'm a fan of that movie, though. Yeah, I'm saying
for me, it just doesn't feel like the Fantastic Four. Like I've read so much Fantastic Four, it just doesn't, like, you don't really get like Ben Grimm and him being like best friends to me. There's like, I don't know.
We hear you. It's no Fanforstic.
That movie's not good either. Like I said, this is a franchise.
I hear everything that you're saying, and I want to join Warren over here and kind of white knight this thing a little bit. Normally, I don't like the Fantastic Four that much. Harvey Korman had a really fun version of it back in the 90s, but aside from that, I really have not been enjoying any of these. I just don't feel like they've been depicted right in film. This, I don't know. To me, it got me interested into it. It's not a perfect movie. I think it's really weird that we spend so much time making these devices and then they just get taken out in like 3 seconds. It just seems like this weird MacGuffin thing, and then they figure out they can use the devices in a different way. It kind of makes a bit of sense, but at the same time, I don't know. This movie really suffers from, again, what the MCU is doing, which is forcing directors to kind of edit it. If you watch any of the things with the deleted scenes, there's so many extended things that would have truly made this make more sense. Like the whole Mole Man thing, there's an extended thing with Sue where she is actually being diplomatic and forging an alliance, and then you do actually see a fight with it. And if you remember, Malkovich was even, I can't remember the character's name, but the dude who has like the orangutan. We see like a glimpse of it in their the opening crawl that kind of goes through some of their exploits. But man, I wish they would have let them kind of expand some of these scenes and let some of them breathe. I think it could have been an amazing movie. For me, it ends kind of a low B. But I respect your A on that.
So we got okay. So here we go. This is how we're gonna do this. We have an A, a B. You said C, right?
Yeah, C.
Bob. So we go, and I gave it S.
I would think maybe what like a C or B area. Then
we'll give it a B. We'll give it a B. Just because I understand my trepidations on this, because I wanted to like this movie so much. I wanted to like it. It just didn't feel right to me. It just, for some reason, it just didn't feel right. It was so slow.
My expectations were 0. I just assumed I was going to hate it. So I had kind of the opposite thing, and I love the retro futuristic thing. So I hear you, though. It is kind of a slow burn in the middle. I
thought that Marvel having it and having their first family back, the thing that really got them off the ground, and it shows what Disney feels about those things. They just didn't care. It didn't feel like there was care put into this to me. And I wanted it to be so much better. I was so hyped for this movie. I was like, this is going to be awesome. I didn't even care about Pedro Pascal. It just didn't feel like I feel they got the family thing down right. That was great. It just didn't feel like
formally.
It just didn't feel like Fantastic Four to me. But I mean, hey, that's why these things are like this, and that's our list. I think it's a pretty decent list. I think it's a fair list for sure.
I think this is the definitive list of tier list of Marvel MCU movies put together by the MSK All-Stars.
And I'm going to download this and save it. There we go. I'm going to save it.
Yes,
I'm going to save
put it away in the records of history.
Yeah. There we go.
That's right. If anybody ever argues with it, we can just pull this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is why I wanted this type of panel show, because we have a bunch of different opinions on here where I think no generality is spoken, which you guys know that's my biggest pet peeve. It's my biggest pet peeve because I feel like when you do that, it leads to dishonest discussion, because you might have someone that really goes into it, like Bob. I know Bob obviously loves movies. So, and I value Bob's opinion. Gray, obviously I value your opinion. I wanted to start this whole thing with you, and Warren just over time has become one of my favorite people. So,
Indeed.
And I like hearing everything that you guys have to say. And it does, I'm not saying it would change how I feel about that, but it would open my mind to being less stubborn about certain things that I hold true to. So it would open my mind more, and I might go and watch something after seeing a review on Bob's channel, which I've done actually a bunch of. I watched a bunch of Bob's stuff, and I was like, I never would have watched that. I never would have seen that. And and I like doing these, and I'm sorry this went super long. Gray, if you got to go, I know you do. So I appreciate you being here, and I'm sorry. Tell them I'm very sorry. I tried.
No, man, you got to complete this to the end. We started this journey. We had to complete it. But yeah, thanks for having me, man. Unfortunately, I got to take off right this second. But This is awesome, man. I enjoy ranking things. Good rank,
awesome.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
you have a great rest of your night, and yes. So, guys, we moved this to Thursday because tomorrow I don't even know. I honestly don't even know what's happening with it. Savage Dad has this Comics Crusade thing that's supposed to happen. I don't even know what's going on with it. I will know sometime tomorrow. I let him know everybody who's available, and hopefully, because I don't even know what time it's supposed to be. That's why I moved this to today, because I didn't want to be stepping on any toes or whatever. But this show will always be on Friday, even if that Comics Crusade show continues to be on Friday. This is what we started. This is the day that I said it was going to be. That's what we're going to do. So, and I appreciate you guys for showing up for such a long show. I know it's
it was fun.
Not always easy, but I think it was a fun one. I think it was fun. And the next time we get together, we're going to be talking about nostalgic Saturday and Sunday morning cartoons.
I'm looking forward to that.
Glory periods.
So I mean, there's always that's always fun. And as Savage Dad said, don't worry, Lapsed. We'll talk about the 70s for you. I'm fucking some old piece of shit. And I'm like, come on, man. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. And, and then after that, I think we're gonna review Rook Exodus Volume 1. So Bob, let me know if you need a volume. I can send you one. Or if you wanna, or if you have a way to read comics digitally, I could send you a digital.
Yeah, if you send me the link, I can do it digitally.
Okay. All right. And then we'll do that because I think that's awesome. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it.
I'll check it out.
And the art in it is probably some of the best art going around in some of the major comics. So
cool deal.
Yeah. So Bob, where can everybody catch you and what do you got coming up?
All right, you can catch me on my main channel. Channel's name is Was It Good? The easiest way to find me is just Bob Loves Movies over on YouTube. I did get a review of Frankenstein out. Go check that out. Also, on my secondary channel on Dad's Turn to Talk, we just did a review of the original Running Man, which was a lot of fun, and we had Blaine from Criticless as our guest yesterday. So that was a real fun stream. And to kind of prep for that, during the show, we also ranked our top 5 favorite Arnold movies. So that was a lot of fun to hear everybody's rankings of those. So that was pretty cool. So go check that out over on Dad's Turn to Talk. And of course, I'm on the MSK show on Mondays.
Yeah, you can catch him on the MSK show on Monday.
Yeah.
Something happened with the mic. Something happened. Warren, what do you got coming on? I know you got a stream coming up right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a bite to eat after this, and then around 9:00 West Coast time here at the top of the hour, I will be playing some Batman Arkham Origins, and then tomorrow I should be on Savage Dad's Comic Crusade show, and if not, I will be on MSK's show after that, and then on Saturday I will be doing a draw stream on around 8:00 Pacific Standard Time. Monday will be another game stream, and then Tuesday another draw stream. But yeah, just you could find me at Lunchbox Comics on YouTube, and yeah, I hope to see everybody there.
So you can catch me here on the last panel. Me and Jared from League Comic Geeks, we are going to be doing a new Absolute show. Warren, if you want to get involved with that, just let me know. What we're going to do is after the last Absolute book drops for the month, we will be talking about all things Absolute DC. It's going to be called Absolutely DC. And we'll go over all the books and all the lore and what we think about it and everything like that. We will go over all of that stuff in that stream. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. You'll be able to catch me on MSK on Saturday if he goes through with it. I don't know. I haven't been on there for like 4 weeks. So, it is what it is, man. I mean, I may have fallen out of favor with the old MSK. So you never know. You never know. And at some point in time soon, me and Orange Avenger will be playing some video games. Warren, you'll probably play with us at some point. Me and you are going to do Space Marines 2, but me and Orange Avenger, he's been kicking the living shit out of me at Street Fighter 6. I got to learn how to play that because it's changed so much over the years, but I'm getting better. So, it's going to happen. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun doing those things. And Laps Comic Fan, I have 2 videos done. I'll figure out when to drop them. I want to get another Bat Bits done and do that first. So, but I do have 2 in the bag, and I am working on, this is going to be slow, but I am working on another Fighting Fandom video, and it is for Ironheart. So if you like any of the Fighting Fandom stuff, that is me being fully cynical and totally trashing things, which I don't really like doing, but for some reason people think I'm good at it. So I say, all right, I'll give it a whirl. But you can always go to Fighting Fandom and check out my Acolyte review, which I think is hilarious. And the first 2 episodes of the Rings of Power Season 2. It was so good that I didn't finish it.
Which one? The Acolyte
Rings
or the
of Power?
Power?
No, I did the whole Acolyte. It's an hour-long video.
Yeah, I did I did an episode by episode review of the Acolyte, and God, I'm sorry I did that, but
said he got another white man. That's true. That is very true. That is very true. I've fallen out of favor with MSK. Whatever will I do?
MSK does love dudes, though. He likes hanging out with them, talking to them. You know.
I mean, that's his thing. That's his
Yeah.
thing.
He says
man.
it's better than hanging out with women. So
I mean, that's his thing, man. Sometimes he just, I think I give him too much shit, and that's honestly probably why. I know everybody else does, but for some reason, and I've said this so many times, for some reason, whenever I like get on people, for some reason, they just want to punch. I have a very punchable face in real life. Like I just do. Whenever I talk, there's people who are just, I've had it said to me, the people have said, I want to punch you in the face. And I say, go for it. See what happens. You never know. It might be fun. It might not be. Definitely won't be fun for me, but yeah, you'll be able to catch me on some other shows, and we'll definitely be back next week with Saturday and Sunday morning cartoons, which I think will be a fun show.
yeah, that'll be cool.
So, all right, guys. Well, that was awesome, and I appreciate it.
That was fun.
Much.
Oh yeah,
Thank
I had
you
a
very
blast.
much. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this, because that makes this makes it so much more fun when everybody's having fun. So, all right, y'all.